Welcome back to the Shonen Pulse podcast. This is episode 23, and I'm your host, Yato. Once again, I'm joined by my co host, Knox.
Yeah.
And it's just the two amigos this time. Weeb couldn't make it, unfortunately, due to some personal reasons. Weeb has to step away for an indefinite amount of time. Don't know if he'll be coming back, but he's going through some stuff IRL. So if you fuck with Weeb, go holler at him on his personal channel because he will be continuing to do, videos and stuff on his personal channel. He just doesn't have the time. Life be stressing people out. So there's stuff going on. He can't afford to split his attention too many ways. So go fuck with him over on his personal channel. We'll link it down below. And if you want to say, you pray for him and stuff like that, drop your prayer hands and stuff like that down below. We do got interesting guest next week, so be on the lookout for that. Next week will be a Three Amigos type of deal. But yeah, on this show, man, if you don't know already, we review 9 different manga that you should be reading. If you aren't, I don't know what's wrong with you, but those manga include Chainsaw Man, Centuria, Dandadan, the Shangri-La Frontier, Ranger Reject, Gotcha Yakuta, which those 3 aren't here this week, so it's a short week. There's also Ichi the Witch, ASStro Royale, and Kagurabachi. So we got a bit of a short show this week, and it's a 2-man show, so this is going to be a 20-minute episode. So, mark your, go ahead and start your clock so your watch is now. Timestamps will be down below to help you skip segments for stuff that you might not be reading. We got good stuff as usual. It's always good. Everything we cover is good. It's big money over here, baby. Help us get to
everything.
Almost, yeah. Something about to get cut, not by us. It's yeah.
Yeah, you know what it is.
You already know. So help us get to that 1,000 subscribers. You see the button right now. Like right now, I'm gonna say the word subscriber, and that button it's gonna flash. There's a little lights around it and stuff. Hit that button. Yeah. Smack the like button. Leave some comments down below. Let us know that you effing with us, and tell your friends about us if you know they read some of this stuff and they aren't listening. Be annoying. Be like me. With all that out of the way, we'll go ahead and jump into some reviews, starting with Chainsaw Man, chapter 197, 3 seconds, and yeah, so I guess just to start things off, I wasn't here for the review. I think it was just you and Weeb because last week it was me and you and Mello, and we didn't have a Chainsaw Man. I think I could be tripping, but I think last time it was you and Weeb, and he was saying that he think it's the Justice Devil. So looks like that guy was right again.
So wait a minute. Then who was it that said that there are no Justice Devil contracts? Oh, was that that was someone in the comment section then?
Maybe that we'll peek that when we're doing the best comment section, and maybe have to re-listen to that review because it might have been your ass. But but yeah, I remember him saying something like he think it might be the Justice Devil, and so it looks like the Justice Devil is involved, not completely. Like this is still a dude.
Yeah,
I'm thinking this is one of the. Yeah, so this is an interesting situation because like before, the Justice Devil was like lending its its power to people, and it was kind of like deforming them, like Yuko. And oh wait, somebody in the comments I think did say that those contracts were not really the Justice. I think that's what it was. It was like the people that was fucking with the Justice Devil were not like, because there's a Fire Devil, and the Fire Devil was turning people into Chainsaw Men. So that's why we had like that army of Chainsaw Men. So like before I like started drifting off and saying like maybe this isn't what I think it is, I want to say that like my initial thoughts was, okay, this is one of the guys who maybe was contracted with the Fire Devil and became Chainsaw Man, and also got contracted with the Justice Devil, so he's like taking on 2. But I don't know, because like it's a lot of shit going on, and like I can't there's some he say she say. The Justice Devil isn't here, Justice Devil is here, because this guy's claiming he's fucking with the Justice Devil, but then somebody said the Justice Devil's dead, and those people who were speaking in the Justice Devil's name weren't really fucking with the Justice Devil, and maybe it was the Fire Devil or something. And like this fake Chainsaw Man guy's been around for a hot minute. Like he was the one that killed Yuko, and then he killed Yuko on the roof after she freaked out and went berserk at the school, and then he saved Asa and Denji from the falling devil or whatever, and he was like, y'all get out of here or whatever. But like I don't know, this whole situation's weird and confusing, so looking forward to finding out what the fuck is going on for real.
Nah, definitely. One thing that I wanted to comment on in this chapter is like I want to say that I can't really see any kind of signifier in the art anyway that these chainsaw blades are actually spinning.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because like they don't have, and I'd have to go back and like look at like past Denji fights, to see if this is a consistency in Fujimoto's art in general. Because I know that this Chainsaw Man is slicing body parts off of this girl. Well, did we get her name? We know it's Death though, right? We can just call her. We can
Yeah,
just call her Death. Okay.
yeah, it's safe to assume that.
Okay, fine. So we know that he is chopping her body parts off, but and we get motion lines on his character design, when he's slashing or whatever, when he's throwing these haymakers or whatever. But I don't see any
We
actual motion lines for like for the conveyor belt chain revving shit. You know what I mean?
we do get sound effects though. For there's the
Oh,
BZZ.
I'm tripping. Okay. Because I'm looking at like page 2, for example,
Uh-huh.
and the chainsaw man jumps into the air, motion lines all around him because he's obviously in
Yeah,
motion jumping. But then the chainsaw poking out of the corner of the second panel on page 2 is very static,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know. And God, I don't know how I keep missing these
I
sound
mean,
effects. They're so big.
it could still be a thing. Maybe his body is just giving off because he's not really the chainsaw man. And it's like if he's not real, like it's possible that these chainsaws are just like in his body, like as an object that can't, like he doesn't have like the motor function or whatever, like
Right,
because he's not the actual chainsaw man. He's like a chainsaw man cosplayer. So like the
right.
shit might not be, like the nerves might not be connected like they are with Denji or something. So
Right.
maybe this shit ain't plugged up. It's just a fucking outfit.
Yeah, I would wonder where the sound effects are coming from then for that, unless this nigga's just like making Chainsaw Man noises like with his mouth.
Yeah,
Which would be
that's
yeah,
because
that'd be funny as hell.
like maybe he's just doing it. I think if that were the case, it would be speech bubbles. But I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
he's a stupid like jokey joke
He's
character.
just
So
like
like
committed to the bit. So he's just like
yeah, it's
vroom,
like
vroom.
yeah, well, like, maybe he's got like a radio on his back or something. So like
Yeah.
it just makes chainsaw says, oh no, that at that point it's like we're going too far. We're writing the
I mean,
story
he
for him,
he
but
do got a cape, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
covering the back of his character design, so you never know. But another reason why I thought this, and this is obviously isn't a confirmation in the dialogue or anything, it literally just made me think about it, but she said your center of gravity and lower body stance, you dabble in karate and just a smattering of boxing, right? Judging from the meaningless leap when you arrived in the monotonous close combat, you can probably only attack physically based on that analysis. Okay, so that's what made me go like, okay, so this nigga's not actually like using the chainsaws in a way that are relying on the fact that they're chainsaws, kind of like Denji does. Like this nigga's just throwing haymakers with chainsaw attachments on his arms. You know what I mean? So it
uh,
made me think, and then I like went back in the art and I was like, these shits are not spinning.
I think on the second to last page they probably are though. Like on this page, it does look like there's some kind of some motion on the chainsaws, but that could also just be speed lines from him like attacking.
Yeah, because they're on his hands too. In
Yeah,
that, and
yeah,
that's
that's what I'm talking
the
about.
second to last like splash page where she's
Yeah,
dismembered again. Yeah,
yeah,
so yeah, yeah, it's hard to tell if that's from them actually moving or if that's just from his body moving in general.
yeah,
It's a tough one. I mean, let us know in the
yeah.
comment section what you guys think though, but like it's probably safer to assume that they actually are in motion the way that, chainsaws actually like work, but there's just so many static images of this nigga in combat, I want to say, where there's just no motion lines dedicated to the actual chainsaw blade. So and like
Yeah.
I said, I might have to go back, through other Denji fights and see, if that's just a thing in Chainsaw Man or not. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So one thing I was thinking is like this character, she's kind of goofy, and I was just like thinking, what if she wasn't the Death Devil? So I do think she is, but I think that maybe there's some sort of split personality or like some sort of like some kind of like fusion type of deal. Like maybe she's half of the Death Devil and it's like the scared, nervous half or whatever. And like before, a couple weeks ago, I was saying that like I feel like at some point there's gonna be this like descent where the Death Devil like appears and it's like, what do we do? Oh no, the Death Devil's here, but this character just kind of appeared. They're already here, and it's like she's talking about saving them, and I think in a previous chapter she was saying like, I'm gonna save you guys or something from the Death Devil, or I can't remember if she mentioned the Death Devil itself, but like, I mean, this Chainsaw Man guy seems to be convinced that she is at least a devil, and he said, "It's my job to stop the coming prophecies of Nostradamus. This girl was an evil devil, partly responsible for destruction." So partly, it's like the Death Devil is it. Like when Death Devil get here, that's supposed to be game over, is what I was thinking. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I was thinking maybe this could be another like launch situation where like she sneezes and becomes like the Death Devil or something. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just thinking like maybe it's an alternate personality, or maybe she doesn't know. Like maybe she knows she's a devil, but doesn't realize she's like the big bad. But she also does touch this guy's leg and drains his life force, and
Yeah.
regenerates her health. So it's like that's that's one way of using death, because
Yeah.
every character so far has somehow manipulated some form of their like abilities concept. So it's like killing this guy adds to her life. It's like, yeah, I guess that is technically a way that we could see death, and it's not what I was thinking. So I'm hoping there's more to it other than like, if I touch people I can continue, like maybe she's a zombie and she just keeps siphoning life or whatever, but I want to see what else comes out of it.
Yeah, I think taking life away in general at a touch is very makes a lot of sense for a death-based ability and character or whatever. I mean, like what first comes to mind, like when I thought of Death Devil when it was first brought up in Chainsaw Man, and what that would kind of like look like. The first thing I thought of was just like a big like AoE like radius of people just like dropping dead as the thing like walked through the scene or whatever. Um, but obviously it seems to be a lot more creative than that, even if this is just like one facet of the Death Devil's ability that we've seen so far, and there are multiple branches or whatever to what this thing can do. I think that at least this very first one that we're seeing makes a lot of sense for Death too, even if there's nothing more than this, which I feel like there has to be. Otherwise, like this isn't as scary as they were making it out to be. You know what I mean?
Especially
so like,
they were saying that like it's their oldest sister, and
right,
like it's game over. Like we need to prepare. Older sister death is going to come. So this character doesn't give off older sister vibes to what we know of the Control Devil, the War Devil, and the Famine Devil. It's like
right,
there's got to be more to this character, and that's why I was thinking like maybe only half of them is here and the other half is coming or something, or maybe it's like a switch thing, like they have another personality that they aren't currently in, and or they could be just playing around. This could be like, I'm the Death Devil, and I'm just gonna fuck around and fucking cry and stuff like that, have a little laugh until like the day that I'm supposed to do things, because maybe she's on a schedule or something.
yeah, and maybe I'm thinking about too, as like, is it a situation where Death has taken the form of this schoolgirl just by like thinking about it, and it's just like, I'm gonna show up to school looking like this today, and it can just do that? Or is this a situation where it has inhabited the body of someone else for the sake of like whatever it's trying to do right now that we don't that we don't know yet? If it's the latter, then it could just be I'm in a new body and still getting used to it kind of thing, so I don't have like full access to all of my facilities or something like that while I'm getting used to this body or something. It's just like shapeshifting. I wonder how easy that is for devils to just kind of do, especially if their concept isn't directly tied to anything like shapeshifting or deception or whatever what have you. I would just assume that since these things are effectively gods, like with these crazy inhuman powers, that like anything is possible, especially in like a Fujimoto book. But like yeah, I guess I never really thought too much about how easy it would be for a devil to just shapeshift when necessary and take the form of like whatever it wants to. I don't think that's what's happening, right? So this is like this is someone else's body. That
Either that or it formed like how how Nayuta was like a person. Nayuta didn't steal a body. Nayuta, as far as we know, was just a person, and War took a body, but we don't know about Famine. I don't think it was ever confirmed if Famine took a body either, or if that was Famine's like body. But Makima and Nayuta were just the devil, like not a fiend.
Right. Okay.
But another thing that's just interesting is like War. Yeah, it's interesting how they all talk about him. Like, I don't think Famine's really said much, but like Makima knew, like she was fan club member number one, number zero. She knew Chainsaw Man like the back of her hand, so she knew how he acted and everything, like all his personalities and mannerisms and shit. She was like, Chainsaw Man doesn't spit, Chainsaw Man doesn't wear clothes, and War was like, I gotta punch Chainsaw Man in the stomach, make him puke. So like they all like seem to know, but this character, she seems like she's like examining him, like she does, like she's not familiar, like this might be her first time like encountering Chainsaw. Your center of gravity, lower body stance, you just dabble in karate and boxing, right? Like it seems like she doesn't know, like she's sizing him up, but like she didn't say like this isn't how Chainsaw Man fights. She's just like, you kind of suck, you just all you can do is like attack physically, but like everybody else
from zero information.
Yeah. Versus Makima being like, bro, Chainsaw Man doesn't do this shit. So it's a completely different like way of looking at him and like calling out what he does or whatever. Because Makima was like confident, and she's like, she's got her hand on her chin. She's thinking out a battle plan and shit. She's like, okay, so you just kind of box, so maybe I could fight you too. Like I could box, and it's like this completely different. It makes me think that maybe like her memories aren't all there or something. Something ain't right with this girl.
Right. Yeah, it's very very interesting to think about.
Yeah, and then she's like saying help, so it's like something's going on. We about to find out tomorrow on April Fool's Day because Fujimoto's a fool with it. But yeah, interesting chapter with this character. It's definitely confirmed that maybe she's like an agent of death. Maybe like the Death Devil can send like her fucking soldiers or whatever, and like it's kind of like Control Devil was doing things, and she was sending out people and having people under her control. Maybe the Death Devil can do something similar, and it's like,
yeah, I could definitely see necromancy also being another facet of what the Death Devil is capable of, because I'm thinking of like, man, if it's really just I touch you and suck your life force out, obviously that could just be used to kill people. Or, in this situation, it's obviously being used to help her regenerate.
Yeah.
After taking a bunch of damage. But, like, if it's just that, then, like, that's not enough for them to be so worried about this thing. You know what I mean? But then it's also just really hard for me to think of anything besides, like, just turning people off in, like, a big AoE, like, radius of death. You know what I mean? But necromancy also is, like, kind of, like, in keeping with that. You know what I mean? Because death is, like, the foundation of necromancy. Like something has to die first in order for necromancy to even be a thing. So that makes enough sense too. But like outside of that, it's like I really can't think of what else this thing will be able to do or should be able to do.
Yeah, it's definitely we gotta wait and see. But I mean, a lot of characters like seem to have I guess a little bit of idea. Like this Chainsaw Man guy, he knows about the Nostradamus prophecy, and he is here to stop this devil. So she's definitely a devil.
Did they say Nostradamus before? Or is this the first time that Nostradamus' name has actually been used?
It's been mentioned a few times.
Oh, damn. I just don't remember that shit. Okay.
Yeah. Nah, they definitely mentioned it. I want to say at least 2 other times.
Alrighty.
Yeah, but yeah, interesting chapter. She, this character's fun so far. She's goofy. She's like trying to punch him and shit and trying to kick him, and she's just getting cut up. She's tears in her eyes. Even like she's been crying the whole time. I just flipped through to last chapter. She's still crying. She wants to save. She even says, "I'm gonna save you, Chainsaw Man." So I don't know. It's just I feel like if this was the real Chainsaw Man, like if this was really the Death Devil, someone who knows Chainsaw Man, like with all her memories and everything, she would know that this ain't really him, and she's still saying like, "Chainsaw Man, I'll save you." But I mean, it's a funny chapter. She was confident that she would beat him. She takes up her stance on the page where she's like, Chainsaw Man, I'll save you in 3 seconds. She stances up and then she runs towards him. Yeah. It's like, bro, he's got fucking chainsaws for arms, bro.
I thought she was about to just start weaving his shit and giving him body blows. I thought it was about to be like Mike Tyson punch out perspective. Like, I thought she was about to really get active, bro. She sucked that nigga's life force out, stood up, started analyzing this nigga and breaking down his fighting style. I was like, okay, now we're about to see what she can really do. And then she just gets fucking eviscerated again. And it's like, oops, I fucked up, help, sorry. And it's just like, nigga. Yeah. Oh.
So now I wonder, like, if somebody's gonna come help, or is he gonna like fucking pick her head up and be like, what's your deal? Like, you're so weak. Why are you even here? Like, are you even really, a devil? I mean, it's obvious that she is, but I don't know. Just Trying to see, because I mean they were the only ones out here. Maybe some kids will come out here and they'll be like, "Oh my god, it's a Chainsaw Man!" And like one of her arms will be close enough to grab their leg too or something. And he'll be like, "Hey, wait, don't get too close," and they'll fucking die and regenerate her or something. I don't know.
What if it's a situation where I don't know how possible this could be, but I just want to like throw it out here because I'm thinking about it. But the way that Yoru and Asa's relationship is one can be driving the body while the other one like kind of like sits back in their little like innate domain space watching or whatever. What if it's a situation where the Death Devil is sharing a body with this other character the same way Yoru and Asa kind of do, and this is just the human girl in the driver's seat with access to the Death Devil's abilities, and is like, no, let me like I got this, like let me cook for a little bit, and then next chapter like the actual Death Devil's gonna be like, okay, I gave you a chance, you tried to box, you got scraped. Let a real nigga show you how to do this shit, and then like actually like then actually takes over for like the real fight next chapter or something.
I can see that. Yeah, yeah. Or like if there's maybe this character has like a confidence fucking flaw or something, and the Death Devil's like, you gotta just go out there and box, bro. Like, don't be scared. You could do this. Like, no matter what happens to you, you're not gonna die because I can just put you back together again. So just like go out there and always give you 100%. So she's like, I can do this. I can fight. And it's like,
let me analyze this nigga. Okay, so you're a boxer. Okay, wait, I'm putting it together. I'm figuring it out. Just watch me do this, and then she just gets whooped again. And the Death Devil's like, all right, you had your chance. You thought you could see through his fighting style. He sliced you in half again. So let me handle it from here.
Yeah, I can see that. That fit the alternate personality type of thing pretty well, I guess. Wouldn't be a personality, but just if the Death Devil is like in her or whatever.
Yeah,
so
just
only thing about that is like
background waiting. Yeah.
Yeah, only thing about that is like there's no like scars, kind of like how Asa had. But I mean, it doesn't have to be that kind of situation. She could have had like her fucking heart ripped out or something, and it's just we can't see her chest.
Well, if this is the human in the driver's seat, then there wouldn't be any kind of like physical indication like scars, because you only get the scars when like Yoru's in control of the body. So, but it could just be the tears too. Like, hasn't this chick like always been shown crying since she's been introduced?
Every page she's just been in tears.
So the tears could be like a signifier that it's like the human in control of the body. And
then when she's not crying, it's the Death Devil.
Yeah, or there will be some other kind of, visual detail in the art when the Death Devil's actually in control.
Yeah, I like that. I'd definitely be down for the tears going away and maybe something else. Maybe she gets like the fucking Ryomen Sukuna tattoos or some shit.
No. Oh shit. Nah, man. Oh god. And we just got this chapter like yesterday or today?
No, this was 6 days ago.
Oh shit. Okay. So wait, that means a new chapter's tomorrow, potentially?
Yeah, when people are listening to this, a new chapter will be out.
Oh, butterscotch, yo. Okay.
So we'll have answers. And some folks will hold off and listen to this first and then read the chapter, and some will come back and say they'll tell us what happened in the chapter that we read in 10 minutes. So okay. So yeah. So I think I'm squeezed out for this one. What about you?
Yeah, I'm good too.
Okay. That does it for Chainsaw Man chapter 197, 3 seconds. Now jumping into Centuria chapter 47, Earth and Water. What you thinking, Knox?
I love this chapter. This is just another really strong example of Toru Kuramori really knowing what to do when it comes to this area of like shonen super powered combat, where both characters have internal monologues where they're analyzing the other's fighting style and trying to find holes in their approaches and trying to find weaknesses to exploit, and just thoroughly considering everything about the fight at hand and coming up with a plan on how to get through the enemy's defenses or deal with their offense in some kind of clever or strategic way. And this is just everything that I love about stories like these on the action side of things.
Yeah. I agree. And like the Pokemon nerd in me like immediately just goes like, okay, so she should just kind of beat him because water normally beats ground, but like
Hmm.
it's not that kind of situation because she is on a limited supply. Like the earth is all around, but she doesn't have water to continuously pull from, and
Right.
they smashed the aqueduct, which we still haven't like seen. I don't know how they destroyed, because how do you destroy an aqueduct? Like it's like what?
Yeah, like the water's
The
still there,
water,
isn't it? Or do you
yeah,
destroy it
it's
and then the
just
water goes back to like the original source, which is like some kind of like river or lake or ocean or something like that?
yeah,
I don't really know how aqueducts work, to be honest with you.
yeah. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty confident an aqueduct is meant to like carry water from one place to another. So like water should still be somewhere.
Right.
Like there should still be water within like I don't know, whatever, 500 feet,
Yeah.
half a mile or something. I don't know. Like there should be water somewhere nearby. But this fight is interesting. She's like, she can't beat him with the whips, but the water bullets work, and that's cool. I like that she has options, and it's not just like grow big or like shrink. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
the
another thing that's
Pokemon,
great. It's like, okay, this one attack, I started off with it, it didn't work. Here's exactly why. And so I use another option, and here's why this is better in this circumstance than the previous attack that I tried to use. I think that that's really important when it comes
yeah,
to fights like these because that's the kind of shit that shows like a progression in the combat so that it's not just a clashing of abilities until one is effective. It's like, okay, here's an attempt was made. I failed. Here's why. Here's the next attempt. This is why this
yeah,
one is working a little bit better. And then you can feel that we're like, starting from point A and going to point B, starting from point B or going, to point C, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what makes it feel like a lot more compelling than fights in like, another series that I could name that we review. But anyway, continue.
well, yeah. I was just gonna say, just when I see stuff like this, it just always makes me think of shit like Pokemon. So I'm just like, okay, she should have the advantage, but in this case, like, it's like it's making them heavier, so it's making like mud, I guess. But I don't know. This fight was fun, but I definitely thought like a couple of different things was gonna happen, and they didn't. But it still was cool the way it worked. I do like that she was able to do the bullet thing, and I wonder like I was gonna say I wonder how many fights she's really been in, like how much experience she has with combat. But based on how she managed to win the fight, I would say she's got a pretty good battle IQ. She was like smart enough to like link herself underground, like I guess drill a hole or something with her water and connect her body behind her or whatever. But um, still, just
Yeah, I think it was more so that because she had already considered the fact that the ground and the soil was kind of keeping her water in instead of
mm,
like like if it was like if they were fighting on a hardwood floor or like a like ceramic tiles or something like that, then the water would just like rest on top of that surface and she could
yeah,
probably reclaim it very easily. But since this is, literal ground, earth, soil, then it gets seeped into that and kind of gets held outside of her like immediate reach, I guess. But I
so it
think
is
that
kind of like a mud situation then.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So but I still think that because she's aware of that fact, she like kind of has the hydrokinesis aspect to be like, okay, I know where it is still, so I can create like that tether, even if the water is being seeped into the soil. I still have access to it, maybe not in a way that allows me to reclaim it very quickly or easily to add back to my volume, but it is still there and I can still be connected to it, you know, because it's still there or whatever. You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah,
she's fighting on top of the ground that and the water is underneath the ground absorbed into the soil, she might not be able to call it back to her, but like she can still link herself and her clone, her like water clone or whatever, like to that water that's in the soil still, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm having a really hard time like putting the
Mhm.
words together to say what I mean, but I didn't think that she had like drilled a hole from her main body to her new body and like filled it with water. I think she just like used the water that was already absorbed by the soil to allow that tether to let her have her body in two spots.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was
Yeah.
just thinking because she's throwing these water like bullets that she
Hmm.
like could do the same to the ground. Maybe she farted one out or something when nobody's looking.
Wait,
But
what?
like she's fucking fart a water bullet to the ground and it just goes behind them
uh
and connects or something. But It's
I'm
probably just
dead.
the mud thing, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was a good move throwing her heart or whatever, and is playing dead or whatever. This is a good strategy for her.
Yeah.
Dude would have been way like if she could get to the aqueduct, like she's dangerous. Like
Seriously.
this power with like rain or something, you're cooked, bro. If
Yeah.
she could like build, yeah, because it like I laughed when he was like, what did he say? Don't get carried away. If I enclose my entire body in earth, your speed and attacks won't matter. And so I was expecting him to do like a dome. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, bro, if you dome yourself in, they can just run. Like, what the fuck?
Right,
You can't
exactly.
see. Like, he's just like, I'm impenetrable now. And it's just like, see you later. They just run away. But
Yeah.
like that didn't happen. I guess he was gonna try, but she just kept firing, water bolts at him.
Yeah, not letting
And
him enclose it. And it's funny
yeah,
that you say that the dialogue made you think something was going to happen that didn't, because that happened to me too. So if you look on like page 5, when he's breaking down the weakness of her ability, he says, if you surpass those limits, you die. It's quite a flaw, isn't it, to be killed by your own gift? And it's just a stark black background as he says that, like confidently. I was
yeah,
like, oh, is this foreshadowing that he's going to die somehow by being like crushed to death by, the destroyed, stone pillars that he's kind of like erecting around himself or something? I thought that there was going to be some kind of like ironic, I thought it was some kind of ironic foreshadowing for how he would
mm,
lose or whatever, and then we got to the end of the
yeah,
chapter and it didn't happen that way. But I was just like, bro, you don't say something like that and then act like it can't happen to you. Like it's gonna happen to you, but then it didn't. But
right.
yeah,
Yeah. No, the thing that I thought was gonna happen was just blood bending. Like
yeah,
I thought that she was gonna like take some of the blood from his arm, or all those like attacks she did when he was getting some damage on his body. So I thought that she was gonna like, fucking what's the word? Bend or whatever. I can't think of a better word. Bend his blood and make like a knife and stab him in the neck with it from like his own arm or some shit.
that would have been
That didn't
raw
happen.
too. I think Toru
Yeah.
Kuramori is aware of stuff like that though, as
Yeah.
they're kind of writing the developments of these fights. It's like almost like he's setting up red herrings for the audience to assume, like, oh, okay, this is probably how she's gonna get him, because I can see that happening, because they're making a point to like show these puncture wounds, or these this damage, and his blood is like shooting out, like they're, it's like, oh, what if he does this? And like Kuramori is probably like, okay, they might think that, so then what else can I do so that people don't just guess exactly what's going to happen? Like, you want to have that like uncertainty, that like it can go either way. You have to have like an advantage on the protagonist side for one reason or another, and then have that be kind of like switched and flipped around to for the opponent to have like a breakthrough in their logic on how to deal with the situation. Now suddenly they have the advantage, or they have the upper hand, and now they're kind of like winning, and like, okay, now what is the protagonist going to do in response to that? It has to have like a good back and forth like that to keep us guessing until the actual the climactic point of the fight, or the deciding point of the fight, where something completely unexpected happens outside of what you were theorizing throughout the fight, but it still makes just as much sense as anything that you had come up with on the way through. That's what makes these fights so fucking cool to me, is that kind of like give and take back and forth throughout the conflict.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, she's got some shit to prove. She's referring to herself as the useless princess, and she's got some chips on her shoulder that she got to deal with. I was disappointed with TT. I thought TT would like
I
this
know,
this whole
me
chapter. TT just
too.
looked like, oh my god. I was like, come on, bro, where's the warrior at, dog? I know
She's
you would have
waiting
just
to
been cooking.
activate. This
I
might
hope
be
so.
copium, with a little bit of hopium, but like I'm pretty sure that Toru Kuramori is saving TT for something.
Need to, because there's no way that like she witnessed what happened to Engval and then went 5 years of just folding blankets and baking bread, and that's it, bro. Like she's gotta have like she like it's when she pulls her shirt down, she's gotta have all them fucking what's those marks that fucking Killmonger has. I need like a bunch of them. I need that braille shit all over her body showing she killed like 1,000 people. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
we need something. We need Warrior TT. But this chapter is just TT and Diane, or Diana. I can't remember her name. I always forget. But little D, she they just was on the run, and this is just defending the payload type chapter. So it was good chapter, good development, good fight for Lacrima. But I need
Yeah.
TT to
To
fucking
lock
muscle up.
in, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just want to like go through the chapter real quick and just break down like the logic for both combatants, and like just make a point of everything that they were considering about the opponent. like, you know, throughout the course of the fight. You know what I mean? Because Lacrima, you know, says, oh, he can use the earth to attack as long as it's connected to where he's standing. So that's the advantage slash caveat that's established for this dude's set power set. And it's like, okay, establish that first. Um, then she considers the fact that she's losing volume because the soil is keeping her water, you know, away from her for reclamation or whatever. And she also brings up the point that the more water it absorbs, the heavier his attacks become. You know what I mean? So like just going down the list, like, you know, and then it switches to his perspective, and he's like, "Sorry, you don't have access to the aqueduct. We destroyed that. We already know about your powers. If you keep losing volume, you're not going to be able to sustain yourself. So the smaller you get, the less put together you're going to be. So all I have to do is keep fighting you until you've lost so much water that you like can't maintain, you know, like a physical enough form to do anything." And then like, and let's see what else is he considering here. Boom, 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 boom. Your body, I just had to take it out before my body falls. Oh, okay, and then she just starts fucking spamming shit because yeah, she realizes that his defense is like actually buns, so she'll just keep, you know, throwing attacks. It's like, no, because if I just, you know, enclose my shit, then your speed and attacks won't matter. And then she doesn't let him, and then he's like, oh shit, she's getting through my defenses, but like I can eat this shit in hopes that she'll just run out of volume before I die. Keep the vital points protected, wait till the water runs out. And it's just like such a good, you know, on both sides of the kind. And, you know, and this isn't a major villain, you know, or anything like that. This is like Lacrima's first fight in this arc. And everyone will probably have multiple fights before the arc is over. And not to mention like way later fights against like real big bad, big name niggas that are going to be have a lot more depth and a lot more, you know, strategic layers to them in regards to the abilities being used. Like this is just like a fucking random one-off fight, and there's just so much considered on both sides from both opponents on how to deal with the other person's power set until the very end where, you know, something unexpected happened but makes so much sense. And it's just like, man, I love mangaka that are really fucking good at this specific kind of, you know, a fight or aspect of, you know, superpowered conflicts. Yeah, it's just like
it's a good
this is what I come here for. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
This is like the first superpowered fight not involving Julian or whatever. That I mean, Lucas has his power, but it's like fucking sword stuff and shield. But this is the first like two elements, you know, other than Julian being involved, two elemental characters fighting each other and seeing how that works. So yeah, I'm looking forward to, you know, seeing how somebody blessed by the fire god and the fucking nature god or fucking sky god, shit like that is gonna work if those are all things. Because, you know, we already saw some water stuff and we got a little more water, so we know more about like Lacrima, like what she can and can't do, and you know, that she's able to adapt and come up with shit on the fly. So she's cool. I'm down to, you know, I'm riding for her. I like what she's about, but
this fight,
I want to see what some of these other fighters.
Yeah, this fight just made me so excited for, you know, later higher scale, you know, conflicts or whatever, because it's like, man, if it's this deep for this jobber fight, nigga, god damn, I can't wait until like the royal knights, you know, in the castle get active.
Yeah.
You know,
I love she told him, she was like, nigga, I am water. Yeah. I was like, yo, okay. Water can move even if you can't see it. And he's like, fuck. You're right. You were connected underground. Yeah. So he got cooked. It's over for him. Underestimating this princess was your downfall. So can't wait to see where we go next week. We kind of jumped here from the Lucas situation. Lucas had cut down all those dudes. So last week's chapter was entirely flashback, minus like a page or whatever. But yeah, like 2 pages. So we'll probably just cut back to Lucas or maybe Julian. Julian's fighting the like werewolf dude and the fucking dragon tail chick ninja thing. So I think we'll just go to Julian next, and then maybe
I think
Lucas.
We're back to Julian next chapter too.
Yeah, maybe they'll all pull up and see Lucas like he has Elstree like on the ropes or whatever, and they're like, "Damn, Lucas kind of tough, yo," and he's like, "Fucking don't look at this," or so. I don't know, but we got some shit coming up, and can't wait to see. Whew, got the hiccups. Can't wait to see how these next few fights roll, and still interested in knowing what Elstri's trump card was, because she talked about having a trump card that she didn't want to use because the other sorcerers was watching. So
Right.
we'll find out what that's about. But yeah, nice to see that Lacrima can even shield in this chapter. She's using her water to block the stone to defend TT and Diana.
Yeah, and that's what I was
Like a
wondering what
shield.
was actually happening there. Like, was that like her? Was that her just like highly pressurizing the water coming from her, like in like an outward like kind of like way? Like, was she meeting the attack, the pillar, like the ground pillar attack? Like, was she meeting it at that point and just like at the moment of connection, just like shooting her water from her body in like a highly pressurized way to break the stone apart before it could reach TT? Or is there some kind of like high pressure circulation of water? Like if she was just standing still and held her arm out, and that pillar ran into it, like what would be the reason why it would break the stone instead of just going through the water?
Well,
And
it seems like it's curving around. Like it looks like it's hitting her thing and then going around them. So like I
yes,
kind of feel like she's pushing it.
yeah. So it has to be like a situation where she's considering where the attack will be at a certain point,
Yeah.
meeting it at that point, and then turning on like, the PSI or like the higher pressure, water from her body at the moment of contact to
Yeah.
kind of, okay.
Yeah, I
Because
think
like,
there's some kind of directional force going on because it looks like it's hitting her and then curving to the right, like making a right turn and then a left turn.
yeah, yeah, okay. Because otherwise, I'm just like, fam, like, how do you do that if it's like you're not just putting your arm out, your arm made of water out and block it, like it's not solid
Yeah,
matter,
it's
you
not
know what I
ice.
mean? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
it's
ice
a
or anything
liquid.
like
Yeah,
that. Yeah, so
you
you,
don't. It's not hard water
yeah. Yeah,
unless it's like power washing type shit. She can
yeah,
fucking power wash your house.
yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think. I was like, I think pressure washer and power washer are like the same thing or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
that's what she has to be doing, is just like turning on the pressure washer at the moment of contact to smash that pillar. Okay.
yeah. Yeah, I think that's all I got for this one. You
Yeah,
got
me
anything
too.
else for? Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
So that'll do it for Centuria chapter 47. Let us know if we missed anything down in the comments, by the way. But that'll do it for 47, Earth and Water. Now jumping into Dandadan, chapter 188, Okaroon and Kenta. And we jump back to the action-packed beatdown with our boys Okaroon and Kenta, like the title implies. They're fighting Alien and Hase and his freaky form. He's got the power of I think last time I said the spirit of competition. I'm still going with that, but it's
Hmm.
this thing got some toes on him, bro. He holding on to them wooden footballs with his toes. That's quite the grip you got there, buddy.
No.
Real grippers.
Real grippers.
They're real grippers. And Kenta's like using the thrusters on this like backpack thing. So he's like running faster because he's giving himself like jetpack
So
propulsion.
that's what that is. Okay, I thought he was like bussing at him like while he was running. I thought that those were like projectiles. I thought he was bucking back. I was like, oh
Nah,
shit. Nah, but
bro
you're
is
totally
out of
right.
there. Yeah, this design for the alien reminds me of I want to say like fucking didn't Deadpool like didn't in like the X-Men movie or like what was it not before they started doing Deadpool when they had what's dude name that plays Deadpool
The nigga. Oh,
Ryan
oh, Ryan
Reynolds.
Reynolds. Yeah.
Yeah, when the first time he was introduced as Deadpool in the like Wolverine movie, wasn't he like wearing some kind of like freaky suit or something like after he got dropped in like the acid or something stupid? I can't. It's been like 20
Yeah.
years since I've seen that movie.
So yeah, it's
But I
it's
feel like
X Men Origins Wolverine, and
yeah,
he basically, before his transformation in that movie, he was effectively just his character in Blade Trinity, where he was wearing like some red and black like sleeveless shirt with like two katanas on the back and some like black cargo pants or something like that. And then the
yeah, he
next
was like
time,
an annoying guy or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, next time you see him, he's shirtless, still has the cargo pants and boots, I think. His mouth is like melted shut. He's
Yeah,
bald, and he's got like Baraka blades like shooting out of his arms, and like
Okay, so
that's about
not
it. Yeah.
so not like this. This for some reason I thought of that when I saw this, but I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Um,
It's the bald head and like the X on the back.
yeah, because he did have the two blades on his back. That's his thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool chapter. Nice designs here. We finally got a full design for Hase's demon yokai form. This is funky looking.
It looks very
You
crazy. I like it a lot.
yeah,
Like,
and
especially because this nigga's wearing like kind of like, I guess they're not too baggy, but he's wearing like school outfit attire or whatever. But then when he's in his yokai form, like look at the Guadalupes on this nigga, bro,
bro,
busting through the pants almost.
buffness, insanely buff, and he's like the same type of it's like the same type of yokai as Okarun kind of, because like his legs are super strong, so it tells me that he's a speed type too, because he doesn't have
Yeah.
any kind of muscle in his arms or upper body. It's just
Right.
all speed or whatever, track and field.
Speed and kicking power, like just
Yeah,
like power in general.
yeah. So looks like it's like in these first like 2 pages, or two or three, or like a double page. So it looks like this thing can maybe like tighten up and then expand to give him some kind of like boosting speed. So yeah, these are definitely some sort of like trampoline springy feet shoes or something. I don't know, I'm ready for the fucking the shit where they explain a character's power on the side of the screen, like yokai, his thing is fucking bouncing on trampoline feet or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what the art is kind of implying here. Like they're hard enough to like do damage when they run into you. Like these aren't obviously, soft cushions that he's jumping off of. Like,
Yeah,
but I think that they're hard enough to, when they run into you, especially with the momentum that he has by jumping off of them, it's gonna do a significant amount of damage, but they're not like so soft like that. It's like I'm trying to think of like a good example because there are definitely like metallic things that um take a lot of force to bend but can still bend. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like if we were to take our hands, like our normal human hands, and try to bend these things or compress them the way that we're seeing in the double page spread, like we'd have no chance. But because it's like super powered and like and has the strength necessary too. They can bend. They're like made to bend, but it just takes a lot of power to do so. So he gets the benefit of the spring action, effect because of his super human strength or whatever. But it's also like
Dummy quads.
yeah, but it's also so hard that at the same time that when it runs into you, it does like significant damage. So
Yeah, so like I'm looking at this page where he drop kicks Okarun, and I'm like, Okarun doesn't have powers anymore, and I guess it's because he blocked with the fucking nanoskin arms. But I'm just like, that kick probably should have just broke his body in half, But
yeah.
guessing these nano airbag arms are just that damn strong, because he's a normal dude, bro. Like
Right.
that should have ripped him into pieces,
So
but
the way that I
he's
kind of
straight.
like saw it is that like one, it ran into the nanoskin gauntlets, so that might absorb a decent amount of the force. Also, it took him off of his feet, so the real damage would come from whatever he runs into after taking this attack. You know what I mean? Like obviously he should still take damage from just coming in contact with the drop kick in general, but I
Yeah,
think I think the combination of him taking it to the gauntlets and him creating a cushion at his back with the thing that he was going to run into after the attack is what makes it a little bit more believable that he didn't just like shatter into a million pieces.
yeah. Airbag
Because like
saved them.
yeah, because like imagine if his like feet were like planted like into the ground like at the ankle or something, and then he took this kick, like he would have no more feet. His legs would be ripped off
Yeah.
at the ankle, and then it would be a lot more serious. But if he's just like standing on the ground and and takes the kick, like he's just going to go flying, and then the real serious problem is what he would run into thereafter. But
Yeah.
obviously he has the cushions, so it makes enough sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and then fucking Kenta running around and shit. They're doing their thing. They're trying to live, and I guess this yokai has its own kind of way of speech too. Like I don't know if it's consistent though, because like in this first page 8, it's like, don't get in my way, numbnuts. Do and an apostrophe you're dead meat. But then it doesn't speak like that again later. It's just like, hey, did you hear what I said, asshole? It's
Yeah,
like,
let me see. Hold on. Where does he speak again? Hold on.
on 10 at the
Oh,
bottom.
yeah, I see that.
So maybe like next week we'll get more dialogue out of him, but he's kind of got that like southern country, fucking twang on him. Where
Yeah,
he's like, "You and you're dead."
yeah, yeah, yeah. You definitely didn't get like that southern drawl or whatever in the next dialogue bubble. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I wonder if that's like a thing or if he forgot, but we'll see when he does some more talking. But yeah, I can't remember. Did Okarun didn't realize who he was, right? Did he? He
No, I
said,
don't. I don't think he knows what's good with Dude yet because he attacks Okaroon, and then the alien immediately kind of like tries to focus Okaroon after that, and they kind of talk to each other.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's something that I actually really like about this Hase and alien warrior like dynamic is that like we've seen it before. They can't get along because they're both just like super headstrong and focused on their own goals, and they just so happen to have a common enemy. But it doesn't mean that they're like friends and like willing to work together like properly. It's just like, yeah, we have the same target. I'm gonna go, get him, and you want to go get him too, but like stay out of my way because like I have the bigger beef with this guy like type shit, and like that kind of like clash is a weakness in and of itself in their team up dynamic that can probably be exploited or something like that. We've seen that like all the time before. But what I really like about it is that Hase keeps trying to talk shit to the alien warrior, and instead of the alien warrior like, you know, getting mad and like arguing back with him, she's just locked in like on her. It's like, yeah,
yeah.
talk all the shit you want. I'm trying to figure out this weird hieroglyphic gauntlet right now. And he's just like cussing her out in the background. And then when she finally figures it out, she's like, all right, bet, here I go. Boom. And just like is ignoring him effectively. And it's just like showing a really strong, sense of like motivation for both Hase and the alien warrior. Like they both really want to get Okaroon, and like one has a completely different approach to trying to do it than the other. But like, they're both like their own. They're not just like bumbling like villains that are like clashing with each other, and it's like a super big detriment. At least not
Yeah.
yet.
So
But yeah,
So I do wonder though about Hase because his initial motivation for even wanting to do all this is because he was jealous and he was getting fucking outshined by Okaroon. All the bitches was on him. He flexed on them in fucking field and track, and he had abs or whatever. We made a point about the abs several times.
you
But like
keep bringing that up.
buff niggas. But like Hase is like, hey, are you even listening to me? We're after the same thing, stealing his abilities. And he's like, thing is, all I want to do is kick the shit out of him. His abilities are yours. So it's like this dude just wants to like teach Okaru a lesson, like put him in his place, like, I'm better than you. So the alien wants to kill Okaru. So I feel like at some
Yeah,
point he's gonna be like, yo, you kind of like doing a lot, bro. Like I
yeah,
feel like Hase is gonna like once he realizes that Okaroon doesn't have powers, he'll probably like pull back a little bit and like, yo, this you can stop now. You don't have to, keep attacking him like that. So Hase might
right,
end up taking Okaroon's side, even though he's like the school bully guy or whatever. He wasn't like
right.
super bully, but he was throwing erasers and shit at him at first. But
Yeah, at the end of the day, like he's still like a teenager. He's not like a homicidal maniac. So like while
yeah,
he thinks that like the playing field should be even because he knows Okaroon has powers, it's not like he's trying to outright murder him. He just wants to make a point like you're not as tight as you think you are. Like look at me type shit. I'm better than you. You know what I mean? So like that's probably like all his motivation comes down to. So I can definitely see him eventually trying to be like, okay, wait a minute, maybe we're taking this shit too far. If he doesn't have powers anyway, like let's just chill maybe and like
yeah.
not kill a guy. You know what I
And I
mean?
can see him. I can see him saying like, like Takakura, just submit so we can take your powers or whatever. He's like, bro, I don't have powers, and then he kind of like misunderstands the whole situation. He's like, wait, so maybe all this time Okaru never had powers and he was really just tight like that? And it's like,
Uh,
am I the dick?
yeah.
Like, am, am I an asshole for what like for taking up magic powers to beat this dude who literally just like he outdid me with his own strength? Like, am I tripping?
Yeah, I
It's
can
like
definitely see that being where his character goes. Oh my god.
and then he just never finds out the truth. Like he just thinks that Okaroot all this time just like worked out or whatever. Kind of like Ippo. Like Ippo was getting bullied and then he became a fucking boxer. And it's like, yo, this dude's actually kind of tight. It's like secretly, he's being trained by fucking world heavyweight class boxer or whatever. You don't know, but like, in the field, he's just like, bro, I'm just a normal guy. I don't have powers. There's nothing to give you. So
That'd
I
be
can see
so
it going that
funny.
way.
And what I also like about the situation is that like both characters don't want to do what, Saint Germain tasked them with. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
obviously Hase doesn't care about getting his powers. He just wants to beat his ass. And then Alien Warrior doesn't really care about taking the powers either because she wants to just outright kill him. So it's just cool that they're here doing what Saint Germain kind of like told them to go do, quote unquote, but not really. They're just like happy for the opportunity to face their target, and they don't really give a shit about their employer, you know, at this point. I just think that's a really cool situation in the writing.
Yeah, I like that. They're both just happy to be able to fuck this kid up.
Yeah.
So the fucking Kinsa giving Okarun this fucking POW bunker suit. This shit is
didn't we okay, yeah, didn't we say that this is how this fight like could play out? I don't remember who it was, probably me. But someone made the guess, you know what I mean, that Kinta was going to have something for Okarun to put on nanoskin wise, so that he wasn't just a fleshy meat bag versus like, you know, Cybertronic alien warrior and like yokai spirit buff teenager. You know what I mean? While Kinta by himself using the nanotech was boxing them both in a 2v1 while also protecting Okarun. I think we definitely had a conversation about him doing this exact thing.
2v1. I definitely can still see it coming to that because like Okarun's too heavy or whatever. He's like saying he can't really do. I mean, he's not taking damage, but I can see him like a turtle getting fucking flipped on his back and he can't fight anymore.
Yeah.
Okaru's just stuck with his back because this shit's too heavy, and Kenta's like, you know, just get up, bro. And he can't do it.
Yeah.
Kenta's forced to defend him or whatever. But I don't know, with the way the end of the chapter went, it's like I don't know if I feel like we'll get to a situation where Kenta is 2v1ing, because we already know now that the alien has told Okarun about their goal, and it's like, I want to kill you and then kill myself.
Yeah.
It's like I don't really see like that being said, and then like Okarun no longer being a part of the action, and Kenta is just like unless Kenta doesn't hear this and he comes in, like something happens like during the fight, Okarun's like incapacitated or something for a second, and before like the alien can do the final blow, Kenta kind of like Goldberg spears it out of the way, and it's like I'm a you know, get off my boy. You know, it doesn't know the history. That
Goldberg.
Like, yeah, he just straight Goldbergs her out of nowhere. And like Kenta, his suit's got like fucking horns on it, so yeah, that'll hurt. Yeah, but yeah, she gets fucking tackled, and like she's already given her backstory to Okarun, so he knows like what she's fighting for, but Kenta doesn't. And Kenta's just like defending, knocked out Okarun over this. I can see it going that way, I guess, but I can't really see like Kenta fighting now that we know, like I don't know. There's got to be some dots to connect to get to a point where Kenta's 2v1ing at this point, especially now that like Okarun's got this fucking mega defense armor on. Like he probably can't fight.
Right. And that's, I just love that. That's like my favorite part of the chapter too, is like the Kenta lock-in writing where he's just like, nah, I've had a lot to think about since the last time we got active, bruh. Like, I needed higher defense, so what did I do? I walked around every day carrying a paperweight and forced my body to become familiar with the hardness of steel, so that the next time I crafted a suit of armor, it would have the properties of this thing that I carried around on me all day and like familiarized myself with, because it's all like, you know, psionic communication with the nanoskin, and it's based on like your understanding of like the properties that you, or the elements at play that you want to manipulate or whatever. It reminds me of
really good shit.
Yeah, it's really good shit. Like Kenta is like constantly, you know, receiving this writing that shows that he is all business, and he's all about like self-improvement and just like wanting to become a better fighter, a better protector, a better member of the team, like in general. You know what I mean? And it's kind of, I don't want to say it's subtle, because it's like super blatant and in your face, but I want to say that because we're expecting him to just kind of be, you know, a fat, cringy, horny loser, that it can easily go like, you know, unnoticed or something. I don't know, but he just like keeps racking it up, man. He keeps racking up these points character-wise for me.
When he's not in the spotlight and when he's just like in the background as a background character or not on the screen at all, you just kind of gotta assume, like people will just assume that he's just like out there being a horny bastard. When it's like you see this picture like on the screen where he's like, since the last Great War, I thought about how to improve it. Like he's sitting there, he's arms crossed, like he's not doing his schoolwork. He don't have a pen or paper on the desk or nothing. He's deep in thought, like, yo, how can I lock in for this next fight, bro? Like shit is getting real, and I can't just be the fat guy. Like they can't like. I got this NATO skin. People are kind of relying on me. I pulled up for the last battle.
I
Shit
got a
got heavy.
job to do.
Yeah, I can't be slacking, bro. Like this school shit is cool, but like I gotta make sure I can put on for the team, bro.
Yes, bro. It's so
He's
good.
walking around with the paperweight. That shit is fucking peak, yo.
It
So it's like
reminds me of what the fuck is her fucking name from My Hero Academia? Yao Momo. Yao
oh
Yoruzu.
yeah,
Yao
yeah,
Yoruzu and her ability creation. It's like more effective the more she understands like every aspect of the thing that she's trying to create or whatever. She has to like
yeah.
understand shit on like a molecular level almost in order for her to like properly create the thing that she wants or whatever. And it's just like
Like
just
that.
it reminded me of that.
First thing I thought of, or only thing I thought of, was Kevin Levin from Ben 10. Wasn't his thing like he could touch like a material and he like molds his body to it? So like if you touch wood, he can like change his body to wood, and then he touch metal, he changes his body to metal. It's not the same, but
Yeah.
touching metal helps his ability or whatever, and that's cool.
I was a Generator Rex fan, so you'd have to ask Snooty about that garbage. No, I'm kidding. Ben 10 was
Oh,
good. I just like I
it's
just missed
crazy.
the train for it, I think. I only saw like, episodes here and there of Ben 10.
Benson had a lot of good episodes. They had I want to say there's a lot of Ben 10 like series because
Yeah.
they contain like Transformers got like the Beast Wars and the fucking what blah 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 wars or whatever. They got all them stories and stuff. But Ben 10 I want to say had like two really good uh
Spin-off
like
joints.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was good. And then they had some fuck shit that I hadn't watched, but for a
But
while it
yeah,
was
you're
good. But
talking
yeah,
about like for that Kevin 11 character, it sounds like, it kind of reminds me of, obviously you have like the Absorbing Man, Crusher Creel from like Marvel Comics. That's like exactly how his powers worked.
mm,
Whatever thing he touched, he could turn his body into that like element or that mineral or that, you know, thing in general
yeah,
or whatever. There was a time he like touched Thor's hammer and like turned his body into like
ooh,
Mjolnir basically. Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, like so that sounds kind of like what you're talking about with Kevin 11, right?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
same type of power. So it's not exactly this, but like it's just what I thought of because like holding metal, and now I can like make my shit as hard as metal because I'm familiar with it. It's just
Yeah.
it connected with me. But I like the Yoraruzu. I never knew how to say
Yao
her fucking name.
Yorozu.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say fucking
Momo.
whatever.
It's literally like
Momo,
Momo is her nickname,
It
yeah.
was Momo, yeah, that. Okay, so Momo Yorazu, she had the fucking people were mad because she had the boob window to cough out her like objects or whatever. She spit a tank out of her fucking chest or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting choice, Horikoshi, but
Yeah,
whatever. We let you slide.
right.
But yeah, good to see the super. What's it called? The Great Kenta back in action. When he
Human
first pulled this shit
sized,
out,
baby.
yeah, I was like, yo, is he big? But no, human size. I'm down for it. So we got straight like bodysuit, armor, combat type shit. That's lit, man. Because we haven't seen Kenta like when we saw Kenta do shit last time. It was like in the big mech. So this is dope to see him like actually throwing hands because before I think he was just doing it psionically, but I feel like now this is like him actually like moving his arms and legs to do the actions that he's doing.
Right. It could be like a situation like, oh no, because it's like the size of him, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like just
Yeah.
big enough to fit around his
So
body,
his
so it's
arms
not
and
like
legs are in there. I thought it might have been like a little bit bigger than his actual body, and it was just like reminding me of like G Gundam cockpits. I don't know if you ever saw like that Gundam show, but in Gundam G, the pilots of the Gundams like had this like crazy latex suit that kind of formed around them when they got into the cockpit, and then that linked them to the Gundam in a way to where any movement they made with their body while wearing that latex suit, the Gundam immediately copied that movement.
is that one where they're like standing on a platform too, and it's kind of like fucking
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
VR.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So
Okay,
instead of like levers and buttons and switches to pilot the Gundam, it's literally just you move your body and the Gundam copies it because it's like linked to the spandex that you wear when you're in the cockpit.
yeah, I think that's how it worked when it was big. Either that or it just went off of their mind. I'd have to go back and look at the first Great Kenta battle or whatever. I think it was two Great Kenta
Yeah, but at the same
usages, but
time though, like these limbs are like way longer
yeah.
than Kinta's. So like even if his arms, and legs are kind of like taking up some of the space, inside of the great Kinta's limbs, like you know, his fingers aren't actually where the fingers of the great Kinta are, for example, and like his feet don't actually go all the way down to the toes of the suit of
Yeah,
armor
yeah.
either. You know what I
There's
mean? So it's interesting to think about how he's actually moving in the suit.
yeah, there's some we need to see the inside of this suit, see what it looks like. You need to when he hops out of it, see how it like fucking unforms.
Right.
Kind of like Vamola's suit. I'm guessing it's just like that. It's just like fucking molds around her, so it's just like he's probably got a few inches of space in every direction or whatever. But like the waist, you know, he was a chubby dude, so it's like, is he got a
Yeah.
fucking corset in here? Is that
Yeah,
shit
now
like
his
fucking
waist is snatched. Hold on,
yeah?
bro. Wait.
Yo, kid, we about to find out Kit's is not actually fat anymore. He actually did lose weight, and he just like wears a fucking weighted vest. No, he's still got the fat chins when he's running.
Yeah, no, yeah,
So
he's still double chinned up, dude.
yeah, his head like a potato.
Right. This nigga's
Yeah.
like no neck gang still.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just ready for Kenta to get his glow up, man, because he's been putting work in everywhere else, but like, I mean, I
His
can't even say he
body.
hasn't. Yeah, I can't. It's like I can't even say he hasn't been like doing work in the physical fitness though, because we've seen him running and stuff, and like he was in gym class doing stuff, and he's running here. Like there's been a couple of cases where we've seen Kenta run and like get active. He just hasn't lost weight, so like. We need like a fucking .5 chapter where it's just like a day in the life of Kenta after school. And he's just like we just see that he eats bad Cheetos or some shit. Like why is he not losing weight when he's doing all this? He should be
Yeah.
losing weight.
Yeah, for
Bro
real.
got bro just big bone for
I need
real.
to see this nigga's diet. They need to show this nigga eating a little bit more because it's like, yeah, how can you be constantly running around with your life on the line, stressed out of breath because you got to run from attacks or run towards danger all day, every day, and you ain't lost no weight? Like,
Yeah.
what are you going back to the crib and eating, my nigga? Just like straight donuts and fucking ho hos, nigga.
It's the Goku diet. He just eats everything and then just fucking just works. He works out, but it don't go nowhere because he's just putting too much. Like he's got muscle, but just fat over the muscle.
Yeah, just always in a surplus.
Yeah. Now I want to see. Now I want to see Hase and Kenta kind of go at it because, like, I mean, I feel like it's kind of honestly where it's going to go here since the alien is fucking with Okarun. So I want to see a case where Kenta and Hase are talking, and like maybe Hase like de-yokais, and he's like, "Yo, ain't you, bro? Like, why
Right.
are you fighting?" Like he recognizes him. He's like, "Bro, you're fit." And then like maybe Kenta gets that back. He's like, "Bro, like Kenta, like the fat guy, like the nerd. Why
Yeah.
you're actually cool as fuck?" He's like, "Bro, if you were like I can see the arc ending and maybe him being like Kenta, like you should like do some push-ups or something, or like I'll help you lose weight or some shit." Because like Kenta has everything but the weight, bro. Like he's like every part of him is cool. Like I guess people go hate him being a perv or whatever, but like every part of like Kenta's character, every time he's around, he gets work done and he's cool. He's just a fat kid.
Yeah. Yeah,
He's
I
like,
mean, we gonna see, I guess.
yeah, he needs to
Another.
glow up. Oh,
Oh, what? Go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna say he needs his glow up. Okarun got his. Okarun was in the field. He got fucking abs now,
Yeah,
as we know, because you
this
keep
shit
bringing
is
it up.
coming, bro.
But yeah, he needs this shit.
Yeah. Another thing that I really liked about this chapter was when Kinta makes a comment on the sluggishness of the Great Kinta armor, like in general. He's like, "Oh no, I never noticed when it was a giant robot, but now that it's human sized, like it's definitely sluggish." Like, you
Mm.
know, they made a point to go, okay, when it's big and kaiju sized, like yeah, it doesn't matter because you're just throwing haymakers and roundhouse kicks, and you know it makes sense to be sluggish when you're that big, but you know, shrinking it down to a smaller size doesn't actually, you know, make the difference that you think that it would by just being smaller, because structurally this thing was not built to be nimble and like fast or whatever, you know what I mean? And they made a
Yeah.
point to like say that, and that's just like really cool for, you know, just consideration and like stakes, I guess.
Now I wonder like if he's gonna just have another iteration of this. So like next time we see Kenta in action, he has like a slimmer version of the Great Kenta, and it's like it's still the same design, but it's more like a Power Ranger type of deal, but with the same like horns and spikes on the shoulders and stuff.
Oh,
So it's
now
like
that you mention that, I can see it being more akin to like design wise to the aliens in Mad.
okay, yeah, I fuck with that.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah, I can see
sick.
that. Something like this alien guy here, maybe like
Yeah,
the alien warrior. Like I can just see him slimming it down because like when you look at how big these pieces are, like the arm, like I can't imagine you know swinging that very quickly anyway, just because like the way it's put together. You know,
Yeah,
like it
and that
doesn't
actually
look
makes a
like
lot of sense now that you brought up the alien warrior, because like Kinsa could take inspiration directly from this fight and this
yeah,
character when designing the slender version of the Great Kinsa after this. That'd be so sick. Especially
yeah.
if he
It'd
like
be
comments on it.
yeah, it'd be fucking dope if he just does it in the fight. Like he's like, hold on,
Oh
wait a
yeah,
second,
he can
like
do it mid-fight,
yeah,
can't he?
he could just do it
Oh,
on the fly.
he's
So he's
like, all
just like,
right, I've
oh
taken enough hits from you and kind of analyzed you throughout the fight. I know how to reform this shit now. Watch this, glue, 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 and then the
yeah,
fucking
he's like, let me, yeah, I can't beat you like this, so let me just fight you like you fight. He just
uh,
gets slim.
yes, come on, I need that shit. Yukinobu, do the right thing.
Yeah, now I need the standoff like the fucking slim Great Kinsa versus the alien, and they're doing like the fucking the raid stance where they're just like standing in front of each other.
Oh,
Yo, I need it.
shuffling their feet slowly, inching towards each other while like getting the stance right. Yo,
Bro. Yo, Kinsa stocks about to go up, yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah, but yeah, I was very surprised about this bit of flashback here and just the fact that like okay, so they, you know, you took everything from me. Okarun's like, no, you stole my family jewel, and they're like, you stole my reason for living. So their planet, I'm guessing, was similar to Vamola's, where it was like enslaved and all the people were killed, and they got like assimilated into this bigger army or whatever. But this character joined their faction, hoping to kill them from the inside, kind of like D from Ranger. Just like I
Mm-hmm.
joined them so I can kill their emperor. It's like okay, that's cold, but you you know so is this person the emperor Hester? I guess the Hester is probably the like emperor's next guy. I finally became Hester's right hand, so it's like okay, so if you're the right hand, is that the emperor guy that you want to kill? So why didn't you kill him or whatever? So maybe this is the right hand of the emperor or something. I'm
No,
thinking I
the way
don't
that
know.
I see it is okay. So after close to 100 years, I finally became Hastur's right hand. So Hastur has to be the emperor, and then it was probably very shortly after he or she got that title of right hand that the fight with Okarun's team kind of happened, and it was in an in between state where like I have been promoted and now my next plan is to kill you, but before I can actually enact that part, that's when this conflict happened that you know made the alien warrior lose and had Hoster blow up her planet. Like
Okay,
yeah, so
maybe
yeah,
it was a case like before she could encounter him again, she got sent on like this mission or something,
right,
and
because it's
then
not just
that's when
like
she
you're promoted, you're my right hand now, and then she immediately like sticks a knife in the nigga's neck. Like you have to get promoted first, and then wait for the opportune moment whenever that comes. And
yeah.
in between the promotion and that opportune moment, they got whooped by Okarun's team, and her
Okay.
planet got blew up,
Okay,
blown
okay.
up,
So
blown up.
yeah, Okarun tossed them. The gang tossed them, and she lost her opportunity, and apparently lost her. Yeah, blew up my planet. They
Yeah.
destroyed my planet. So, okay, yeah, interesting. And the fight's cool so far. We got Nimble versus Okarun, Okarun's normally a speedy character, and this is a different fight for him because last time they fought, Okarun was a speedy character, and
Right.
he is not that anymore. He's a tank, so he's just gonna be getting fucking wailed on. But yeah, I'm interested in this flashback because obviously this person had breasts. So
Yeah.
guessing this is the lovely lady in this picture. So
Yeah.
can't wait to this probably gonna be a tragic one, man. Cause like
Man, aren't they always though?
man, yeah, I can't wait to see how we go from beautiful wedding, fucking sunset to fucking snow or whatever this is in the background, light particles, happy energy to my planet's blown up and I become fucking Alita and I gotta fucking murder you and everybody you know and then myself. Like, okay, they killed her husband, I
Yeah,
guess,
because she
or
definitely seems like a lot like, you know, cuter, more feminine, more dainty in the first panel of this flashback. Like she got the big like Disney princess dress on, like, you know, everything seemed cool. But then like when we meet her when she's talking to like Saint Germain, she's like scarred the fuck up, like angry, like warrior, like swole, like completely. It's like something had to have happened to have her go from, you know, um
yeah.
yeah, from Disney
I love
princess to Battle Angel Alita, yeah.
hella feral. Like she was like on the ground running like fucking like an animal. Yo, like
Right.
she's yeah. I just pulled it up. Chapter 182. She's got the fucking eye, like the crosshair on her eyeball and shit. So
Yeah.
yeah, something happened in her past, and I can't wait to see what that's about. Yeah,
Yes.
something you dropped. Yeah, this is gonna be a good one, and I'm I gotta see how it plays out because I don't want like because I already said I feel like Hase is gonna like be like yo chill out, but I also don't want like them to kind of talk no jutsu the alien too like hey so like I'm you know Jermaine is cool with all those guys so like maybe you should team up with us instead like I want to see where this goes but I don't want everyone to be on the gang like I feel like
Right.
we got a lot of all the seats are filled we don't need more gang members because it looks like Lord of Flies is gang and
Yeah.
it's like
And not only
I
do we
didn't.
just not need more team members, like we don't want every antagonistic motivation to end up being reversed. Even if
Yeah,
they like don't join the team. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I
yeah,
don't want them to go from like you suck and I have to kill you and there's nothing you can do to stop me to being like, "Oh, well now that you put it that way, I guess I'm not mad at you anymore." You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's the I feel like that happens too often at this point in these battle shonen series. Like
yeah.
we see it a
I can
lot.
forgive it. I can
Yeah.
forgive it with like Hase if it comes down to a misunderstanding where he realizes Okarum doesn't have powers and he's like, my bad, bro. I'm not gonna fuck with you, but like
Yeah.
I can't be your friend because like I don't know, I was a jerk or something. But even I
In
can't
my
really
opinion,
see.
even if it makes sense, you still don't want too many examples of it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
I can't see a situation where like they cool off and don't fight, and Hase doesn't end up joining the gang because characters they love doing that thing where it's like sorry I don't deserve to be your friend, and they're like it's all right man, you can still be we could be friends, bro, even though you were a jerk. I forgive you, and they end up like homies. But I don't want that. I want Hase to like not be a dick anymore, but also like not be at the crib. Like
Yeah.
we don't need there's no more chairs, bro. Like
Right.
last time we had a fucking dinner scene, we had to rent out the Denny's, bro. We can't bring Hase and the alien too, bro. We already have an alien with Peeny Weenie. We
And
already got
Vamola.
fucking yeah, and Vamola. We already got delinquents. We got the whole block. We got the whole hood Junji
Zuma.
Zuma. Yeah, we got the hood. We got the block. We got the aliens. We don't need more delinquents and aliens, bro.
Right.
Like, of course he gonna write it and it's gonna be fine. But like, I'm just saying right now, I don't want it.
Right.
Like, be cool. Say what up in the hallway and
We'll see
fucking
you in the final war arc. You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Pull up when we need you. But like, I don't want him to be like in the next arc. Like, fucking. I don't want it to be like a thing where it's like Kenta, Zuma, what's evil eye dude? I forgot his name.
GG.
Gigi, and then Hase all like competing for who's the best bro. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
but but yeah, good chapter, good combat. We got a bit of yapping out of this one. A lot of cool poses here. I love this mask for the yokai thing. I don't know what this like is. If any folklore heads or whatever knows, comment down below. Let me know if spirit of competition sounds right to y'all because I'm still sticking with that.
Yeah. I love the choreography in this chapter. I'm just like looking at like page 18. I've gone back to it like multiple times during the review, like where the pile bunkers activate, hits the alien warrior in the chest, like to counter the haymaker. They both fly back. They both catch themselves and like restance. Like, I just think it's so hype. It's just such a good interaction. Yeah.
I love that, but I like how everything with Kid's powers. I gotta go back and look at like old fights, but it feels like a lot of like go gadget type of deal because he's
Yeah.
Okaru's like pow bunkers, and then earlier when Kinsa was like doing something, where was it? He goes blast wind thrust attack. It's like
Yeah.
he's like naming all of his attacks. He's a fucking nerd.
Yes.
So I wonder if that's like always been a thing or like I don't know. It's still fun either way. The fucking naming your abilities because they do more damage when you name them. Didn't I
Everybody
think
knows that.
yeah, I think they actually mentioned that point in the story when Gigi did his like Kamehameha or something. They was like, you got to name your attack to do more damage. It was like a joke or something. I'm gonna go back and find that. Somebody fucking comment down below if that's a thing.
That
But
was definitely like a self-aware, like metatextual, like joke, like for the audience for sure.
yeah,
Like, oh yeah, y'all don't know why characters say the name, shout the name of their attacks in these stories. Well, it's because it does more damage, obviously.
Yeah,
Mm,
fucking critical strike rate increased by 100%.
type shit.
Yeah, but I think I'm squeezed out. You got anything else for Dandadan?
I'm super good. We had a great, long, chunky, hearty convo for this
Yeah,
chapter.
that's that chunky beef stew right there. Put it on the stove for your grandma.
Campbell's.
Yep, let's go. That's Dandadan, 188, Okarun and Kenta. Now jumping into our Shonen Jump section of the podcast because there is no chapters of Weekly Shonen magazine last week. Unfortunately, missed those. Was definitely looking forward to it. But anyway, jumping into Ichi the Witch, chapter 28, 28th Hunt, Unknown Emotions, and really good chapter. I fuck with it a lot. How you think? How you feeling?
I loved this chapter because we had been talking for like the longest time about exactly what Goku Raku's motivations were. Well, we know that he wanted to beat up Bakugami or whatever, but we didn't know like exactly like why or how he came to have those motivations, and we were like speculating on exactly what happened in his earlier life that turned him into the character that we've been following for however long. But yeah, I think it's really interesting how it comes down to him being upset with the fact that Bakugami seems to have taken the grief and sadness and just bad emotions of losing a parent away from his sister. It's like, no, you're gonna remember and care about our mom and the fact that she died. I just think that that's really good stuff.
Yeah, and I like that. Like it gives us because when we're first introduced to Bakugami, I mean not Bakugami, but Goku Raku, they introduce him as Goku Raku the Brutalizer. He's in like a bingo book. Like they know him. He does this. He goes around beating the shit out of magics, and it's like this was all so that he could get strong enough to defeat Bakugami. So their mom died 10 years ago, so he's just been like, after I don't know when he put this shit on his back or whatever, but I'll assume 10, 5 to 10 years, he's just been going around beating the shit out of magics to hopefully like get the power so that he can beat Bakugami himself. So it's not that he's a dick. It's not that he's just like beating up monsters that are weaker than him. I mean, yes, he most likely looks down on them and finds them disgusting, and they're
Right.
monsters that need to be killed because like they took his sister's like ability to feel sadness away from him. So like that to him is it's all that you need to know to know that these monsters are not good. Like they shouldn't be alive, they should be killed or whatever. So he's just
Yeah.
going around killing all these other monsters, and it's not, like I said, it's not that he's an asshole. He's on a mission. So
Right.
I like that it puts more context on his character, because at first we watch him and he's licking his lips as he's smashing frog magics into the tree, and it's
And
like,
it
oh
just
wow,
made
this
him look
dude's
like a
kind of a dick.
sociopath. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's like, he's I'm still not gonna say normal yet, but it's more like a path of vengeance.
Yeah.
But also like in for his sister's sake, and his mom, she was can't remember actually. The mom didn't. Did they say the mom died because of? She died 10 years ago, but they didn't say how she died, did they?
Yeah, we might be waiting for that. It could be like a layer cake of like why
Okay.
it makes so much sense for Goku Raku to be this passionate about what he has been doing for the last 10 years. Because like, yes, in relation to the information that we got in this chapter specifically, that gives context and an explanation to why he's trying to do what he does. But that doesn't mean it's the only reason why he's trying to do what he's trying to do. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
just like in relation to the conversation had and the writing that was given in this chapter, this is the reason why his motivations are the way that they are. But we could find out later, like, not only did Bakugami um take away his little sister's ability to, feel sadness for the death of their mom, but we could also get writing introduced following this that shows that, I don't know, some devout follower of Bakugami is the one that killed her mom in the first place or something, you know what I mean? And he's just like, okay, it's
Yeah.
all bad in all of these ways related to Bakugami. The nigga's gotta go. So
Yeah, I can see if it was a case where, well, so I think they they said that like it was first discovered by the girl, by his sister, but like
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that like maybe her mom couldn't have found Bakugami first. And I can see if it was a case like where maybe she killed herself, maybe like Bakugami took all of her mother's like sadness and stuff, and her mother just kind of felt empty and maybe took her own life
Yeah, or maybe she
to
was like
like
super aware of the fact that Bakugami had taken away her ability to feel certain emotions and was just like
yeah.
so like, nah, bro, like I want that shit back, but I can't do anything
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't live like this. I can't like be a good mother to these kids if I don't have like the emotions that are required to, emotionally support these children. So I'll just take my own life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an extreme fucking response to
I
not
see the
having,
vision though. I see
yeah,
the
yeah,
vision
I can
though.
see it. It's a comic book, so I can see that being a thing. But yeah, I mean, it's nice, and I guess after this arc or whatever, I can see Bakugami still being on his shit where he's still vicious to magics, but like we see what made him this way.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah, it's really good stuff, man.
Yeah, and he said it. I think we were talking about it a couple weeks ago, like how he got the magic shit in his body. Maybe like someone experimented, but he said he did it himself. I made a vow when I grafted these magic items into myself. So
Yeah.
it seems like he definitely still like how the fuck do you put this in your own back? Like there had to be like some kind of like maybe he ate it like a Sukuna finger or something. Because like how do you put something in your own spine unless it's like an Iron Maiden type of deal? Like how did you put something on your own back?
Right. He probably like it's probably propped up against something and he just like put his back up against it and then just like pushed like against the shit and whatever it was next to, like kind of like sandwiched
Yeah.
the magical item between his back and like the wall that it was propped up against or something until it just like dug into his shit. But it's like, how do you not paralyze yourself doing that? Like that shit
Yeah.
basically replaced your spine. Like this is some kind of like magic surgery or something that someone else helped him with.
Yeah, somebody had to have like he probably says like I did it to myself, but he probably like forced some like witch to do it. Like
Or it was just
he
like a
he
deal that he made with someone, and because it was, his decision to do it in the first place, that's why he says, I did this to myself.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I mean, yeah, you go and get a tattoo. I got tatted or whatever. Even though you didn't like tattoo yourself, you still got tattooed. You just
Yeah.
it was your choice to do it.
Exactly.
So
And man, this
yeah,
on page 10 to like come to the ceremony in 3 days. I'm going to pray to Lord Bakugami on behalf of the whole country. I'd like if you were there to watch. And he's like, a ceremony for what? And he's like, what else? The 10-year anniversary of Lord Bakugami's arrival. And it's like, bro, like, how do you say the 10-year anniversary of that? But like,
yeah.
like,
It's like she
yeah,
forgot about her mom's death, bro.
yeah. It's like you literally just said pages ago that your mom died 10 years ago. Like, are you that? Like, it almost, and just the way that her facial expressions are kind of like shown, it almost feels like she's saying shit because she has to, and then like the real her is like inside of her mind, like, no, 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 like I know it's mom, but I have to say Bakugami. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
almost like she,
Like
isn't.
she's inside, like banging on the like inner mind walls. Like, no, that's not
Yeah,
what I want to say.
yeah, like she's in the sunken place, like, no, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, yeah. So the mom died 10 years ago and Bakugami emerged 10 years ago. So there's definitely some sort of connection there.
Yeah, like it'd be
I
so
just,
crazy and like sinister if we find out that like not only does Bakugami have this effect on you to take certain emotions away from you, but like also like on creating a devout follower of Bakugami, it kind of steals your personality away in certain respects to where like it makes you say positive things about him, and like yourself on the inside is like kind of on the outside, like looking in, like watching you, like I don't want to say this, but like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
compelled to, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, like I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but I just feel like there's more to it than just the taking away of certain emotions.
Like conscious brainwashing. Like
Yeah,
they're being made to say these things, but on the inside, like everyone who is like, it's a happy, fun place. They're secretly like screaming. They're like screaming on the inside, like, please help us,
yeah,
kill Bakugami. And they're just
yeah.
like, we got Bakugami t-shirts for everyone.
Yeah, but then like
Yeah.
in other respects, they're just like being completely normal. Like I definitely think that this is really his sister. During this monologue of them chatting all night and like sharing memories and whatnot. Like I think that that is really her. But then specifically when it comes to the subject of Bakugami and in relation to the effect that he has on people with his power set, I think that that's where like new dialogue comes, that, you know, they might be influenced to speak in certain ways in that way.
Yeah.
I don't know how like that would end up making sense in the writing, but I mean, like if that was the case, I know that, you know, Nishi would write the shit out of that. But this is just an inkling right now, I guess. But I think that would add a lot to the conflict here.
Yeah. I do wonder though how long this arc is going to be, because like so far the arcs have all been kind of quick, but this arc, like the first time we see Gokuraku, he's beating up the frog in the woods, and it's chapter 22. So we're already like 6 chapters into this arc, so it's already the longest like solo arc. I think
Yeah.
the witch, well, I guess you could say the one with the world hater was a little longer, because they went looking for the mushroom, and then they encountered the world hater or whatever. So I don't know. I'm just hoping that this arc doesn't end in like 2 chapters, and it manages to be like a 15 chapter arc maybe.
The first real meaty one.
Yeah. So like I want it to be, you know, a bit more like tug and pull. You know, they figure out a plan, and they go and fight, and it's like it's, you know, there's like 2 or 3 chapters of fighting this thing, and not just like we figure the plan out and then we win.
Right. Because there's also like a lot of mystery tied to this plot too in this arc, as far as like there's a few different, you know, questions that are big that we've wanted answered since the start of this area of the storytelling, and like one of them is like exactly what Gokuraku's motivations are, and we are starting to get that kind of answered. I definitely still think that there's more to it besides just the information that we got in this chapter, so like I'm excited for more writing in that regard. But then there's also like the mystery of like Bakugami itself, and, you know, kind of how it came to be and how it like came to this area, and like, you know, exactly what's going on with like the inner humanoid version of itself.
Yeah.
And like there's just other shit going on here that needs to be explained, that that has, you know, the audience curious about like, you know, what's the answer to. I think there's like 3 more questions that I feel like need to be answered outside of just like combat against Bakugami too. So
we still got the like manhunt going on. Like the civilians, the people of this town are gonna get involved. They
that's
got
what I was trying to remember to say too.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like what's up with, you know, the devout followers and how they're going to be involved and whatnot too. Yeah.
Yeah, because it'd be cool if like some people get involved and they like stand in the way. They're like, we're not gonna let you harm Bakugami, and it's like they kind of human shield for this taper or whatever.
Right.
So,
Yo, that's definitely one way that they can really drive that, you know, devout, like dogmatic, like fanaticism home inside of the follower cult. Like what you gonna do if like 16 niggas jump in front of Bakugami and you have to punch through them to get to it?
yeah. And he's talking about, he's like, I swore I was gonna punch that bastard Magic in the face and steal my sister's emotions back, but like, can they come back? Like, once
it's
this
funny.
thing.
Hold on, you just said something that gave me. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but like the way you said that, I want to punch this nigga in the face. He said that specifically.
I swore I was gonna punch that bastard Magic right in the face.
Hold on, where's that? That's on. Oh
Page
yeah,
15.
yeah. Okay, I see that. So does Gokuraku know that there's like a humanoid version of Bakugami inside of the taper form? Because like he had an opportunity to attack Bakugami when they first broke through the roof, and he like punched it in the stomach.
I don't think he knows. I think he knows that just something isn't right, because like
Why
the
not go
shit
to the
isn't
face?
working on. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just like they got a hit in, and he was like, "We got to get out of here," type deal.
Yeah.
There's too many like faces or whatever. I think he's probably trying to plan an assassination because like there's too much heat or something.
He
I
still
don't.
got a hit off though. Like you
Yeah.
bust through the roof, you locate the target, you choose a body part to attack. Nigga punched it in the gut.
Yeah.
Like if your whole thing is to punch it in the face, right in the face is the dialogue. Like I think this nigga knows that like that there's a humanoid version of this magic inside of the taper form, and like he wants to punch that nigga in the face.
That'd be interesting. I can see it, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's just interesting that he's the only one that's not drinking the Kool-Aid. And what is causing that? Is it because he's got the magic shit? And like, well, no, because I was gonna say it's because he has the magic shit like grafted onto his back. But like before he ever did that, he would have been under its spell or whatever. So
no,
why?
because maybe the mom dying and the arrival of Bakugami, since they're so close to each other, maybe the mom died, and he kind of isolated himself from everyone else. Like at the time that Bakugami showed up, and everyone was just like, "Oh my god, this thing is so cute! I want to hug it." And then like they found out that like by hugging it or whatever, or getting that close to it, it made them feel better about things. But he was still like far off, isolated, and couldn't get over the death of his mom. So while everyone else drank the Kool-Aid, you know, and was overwhelmed by the cuteness of the taper and felt compelled to like hug it and be next to it, like he was just away from everyone else, like sulking and sad. And so he like never had the opportunity to get affected by Bakugami in the first place. And then
when
he finally comes back. Everyone's just like happy, joy, and it's like, nigga, no, mom, what?
It's like, why are you smiling? It's like, our mom died. What, you should be, you know, balling up like I was. And she's like,
oh, it's because of that thing.
Yeah, just hug this guy. You'll feel better. You'll forget all about mom's death. And it's like, no,
nah,
not
fuck
touching that shit.
Yeah, I'll be right back. Let me go get some magic, and I'm dealing with this thing.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, and that's probably part of his whole like going out and beating the shit out of Magic's thing to get stronger, and then he, you know, comes back. Yeah, we got to know how the mom died, because like if she was killed by Magic, or maybe like an assassination, or maybe there's some kind of like fucking conspiracy going on. Maybe like the mom was killed and then Bakugami was planted here to fucking suck up people's emotions because everyone's sad or something. I don't know, man. I hope this arc goes on for a good, you know, like I said, 15 or so chapters. So I'm hoping we got like maybe 7 or 8 more, because I feel like it's already been 6.
Yes.
And we got like a deadline. We got this fucking anniversary, and you know the plan. And I mean, this dude's dead serious. He's like, bro, there's no backing out now. Like Ichi's here. Ichi hasn't had a chance to really do anything at any point. He's just kind of been under Gokuraku's arms the entire time, and so now he's like, there's no backing out now. Running out, kill you. But
yeah, I think Ichi's like finally got his like agency back. He let Gokuraku cook until we got this, you know, information for him. Now we have the pathos, and Ichi's like, okay, I'm ready to be a character again.
Yeah, Ichi's chilling, man. This is good stuff, and it's just he's a character that, you know, all his life, all he's ever had to do is watch out for himself. So this is cool to see him, you know, kind of putting that out there. He's like, bro, like he was telling them like, I got a family now, and you know, I have some people that I kind of consider family, I guess, like Kamugi, and you know, all my life I've lived for myself, not for anyone else. So doing stuff for other people is very foreign. You know, I don't understand, you know, helping other people out, because I always just killed to feed my belly or whatever, never to like help someone else. So like, I'm down for this. This is a new. He's got that sparkle in his eyes. Like this is a new feeling. Like I feel like he's like, you know, I can't wait to see how I feel after helping someone.
Yeah, starting to get some progression going on here for his character in one regard.
Yeah, this is a better version of that like good boy thing that I'd be talking about with ASStro Royale. It's like this feels better. Like
anything feels better than that garbage, but
yeah. Ken Wakui always has to like force in that like good boy moment. Speaking of, actually, there was a tweet, I went and found it earlier. Somebody tweeted, there's like a fucking campaign on Twitter. It's fucking silly. We need your help to save ASStro Royale from the Tokyo Revenge. Okay, no. Okay, we need your help to save ASStro Royale from the Tokyo Revenge's author. It might get canceled. If we show the publisher it's got a huge fan base, they'll keep it going. Like or share, hashtag save ASStro to keep some noise or whatever. And this one dude, he's like, why would it get canceled? Sales are fine. And
are they?
No. WSJ Reviews is like, it started off fairly strong, but drops with every volume, which suggests its early performance was mostly on Wakui's name, and people aren't really enjoying the series for its own merits. And dude says, sorry, but if Ichi isn't getting axed, then AR is safe. We good. And I just fucking reply with a question mark. I just responded with a question mark. Like, are you serious? And then he responds, I'm caught up to both, and I can't think of a single writing element Ichi executes better than ASStro Royale. I just left. I was like, I ain't doing this, bro. He's got a blue check next to his name.
Send me that.
Yeah, people are like, bro, somebody's like, this gotta be bait. Like,
I got something for this nigga. Trust me. Send me that tweet right now.
Bro is tripping. Yeah, if you're watching, if you're the blue check guy, you a silly man. Yeah.
Yeah. But go brush your teeth and take a shower, my nigga, because when you get out the shower, you gonna be met with some words, buddy.
Yeah, that shower gonna hit like a Snickers, bro. You're not you when you're hungry, bro. You're not you when you stink. Or maybe you are you when you stink. I don't know, because that's a stanky thing. But back to the chapter.
So funny.
just a cute chapter with them talking to his sister, and she's like, are you guys friends? And he's like, oh, neither one of them knows. They're like, I don't
What
know.
being a friend is, yeah.
Yeah. Have you played together? Yeah, I guess kinda. We fucking ripped the spine out of a fish. Have you eaten together? Yep, you could say that. And she's like, it was tasty. Have you talked about your dreams? And yeah, we kind of talked about things we want to do. Actually, Ichi didn't tell him. I don't think Ichi told him what he wants to do. Ichi hasn't really said much about like what he wants to do. It's mostly been the I keep wanting to call him Bakugami. It's mostly
Yeah.
been the Gokuraku show since he's been introduced. So
Yeah, that scene
yeah.
is funny though. It's like you guys friends, and like both of them, like in their character lives or whatever, have like never had a reason or had never experienced friendship for one reason or another. Like Ishi's just like I was in the fucking jungle, like being forced to survive all day. Like I didn't know other people. I was fighting off wolves and insects and shit like that all day. And Gokuraku's like, I don't know, my mom died when I was young, so I've just been in my room listening to Hawthorne Heights and hitting a punching bag and doing push-ups. My nigga, I don't know what a friend is either. That's just so funny.
Yeah, I'm fucking with it. I really don't like. I was so the thought came to my mind is like, okay, it'd be cool if uh if Gokuraku signs the contract too and he becomes part of the family. But the
Oh,
first thought that crossed my mind with that is, will his sister die? And it's like, bro, I don't want his sister to
wait.
die.
No, I don't want that either.
I don't want his sister to die. He don't need any more like
But wait, why
tragedy.
would he
His
do
mom was
that
killed.
though?
What, like join the family?
Yeah, like why would he sign the contract and like how would the sister get involved in that?
Well, just because like I feel like he's not a one-off character. So like I imagine he'll join the crew and like probably be, since he's probably like a wanted criminal or whatever, and once these people find out like Discaris, they realize she's, like top witch, she'll probably like invite him to the family to kind of like give him a fucking pardon or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon his crimes to make him, he's okay, don't worry about him. He's with me. I'll rein him in type shit. But like I can I'm worried about the sister. Like I don't want there to be tragedy and him to join because he doesn't have anything to go back to. And then maybe it could just be like his sister, like she becomes like the queen and he go back sometime or something. So maybe it don't have to be a tragedy. But I don't know. I'm just wondering like if he joins, because I feel like he's definitely gonna join the crew. He's not gonna. This arc isn't gonna end and it just goes back to being Ichi, Discaris, and Kamugi. Like I feel like he's gonna be there fourth, but what'll happen to get him to be there fourth besides like beating up the taper.
Yeah.
And like I mean he's in the fucking wanted book. Like the dude's a criminal. Like he's got a record.
Yeah, there's
And
so
he's
many
and
things going on, bruh.
yeah
This arc
yeah
is so good so far.
yeah we got a lot of emotions out of him, man. And he's like, he's sad that his sister, she was a crybaby and she just lost that she can't cry. Her ability to be sad is gone. There's no way that thing is a god. Yeah, good
Yeah.
chapter for him.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to see what the next one is about and if it's going to be action or if it's going to be like they fucking formulating a plan or something.
I think it's gonna
I
be
don't
like
know.
Descar's perspective potentially with the Bakugami followers,
Okay.
or like the majority of it, and then at the end it's gonna be like Goku and Ichi like pulling up to do some shit because what's gonna bring them all together is this ceremony, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, and it's in like 3 days or some shit.
When was it? Did she say? Yep, 3 days. So okay. I
Yeah,
hope I hope we get to see. I hope at least a couple of pages is dedicated to each of the days, and it's not like the next chapter is like day 3 type
yeah.
shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
I want the legs to be stretched out. And I feel like I feel like there's nothing to worry about because this, just looking at like Aruma, the first arc that was this size for Aruma was around this same point, and it was I want to say
Mm-hmm.
Walter Park, and I want to say that was a good 20 chapters. Um, I had to go back and look, but Walter Park took place around this time, I think, and it was a decent size, and it ended really well. So I'm hoping this is a decent size arc. I just, it's a new series. We got to get our first major arc at some
Exactly.
point. So let's get it now, baby.
Yeah.
But let's see. Was there anything else in this chapter? Um, yeah, just vibes and family stuff. Gokuraku just becoming a better character every week. I'm fucking with it. You got anything else for this one?
I think I'm all squeezed out.
All right, well, that's going to do it. If we left out anything, don't be afraid to open your yapper and let us know down below. That's going to be it for Ichi the Witch 28th Hunt Unknown Emotions. Now, jumping into ASStro Royale, Chapter 47, Match Over. And, you know, I've said my things and I'll still keep saying them, but this chapter did have some of the stuff that I've been saying that I wanted from ASStro Royale. It just the pacing hasn't been there. So it's like, yeah, we got to the fucking what was it, the bare knuckle knife fight or whatever from Yu Yu Hakusho. So we
Knife edge death match. Yusuke versus
yeah.
Chu.
Yeah, we got, a sort of situation similar to where what I was talking about, where it's like I want to see characters like fucking, struggling to just stand up and fucking, they're using the last of their energy to punch each other or headbutt each
But
other.
how
These
we
guys are like,
got there makes no fucking sense. You're telling me he loaded up the fucking Mankitan, threw it at him.
yeah,
The nigga said, "Oh shit, I'm still taking damage even with the vermilion mist around my body." But I'm behind him now. This nigga Hibaru says, "I knew you'd try to strike me from behind. The Mankitan was a distraction so that I can punch you in the face with my regular arm." And that just turns your ability like off from that point. Like yes, he said, "I also know you revert to your real body when you attack." That's something that we guessed would be a weakness to this thing. We
yeah,
literally commented on that like last review, I want to say. And like one, it's fucking, a little bit too obvious of a weakness if we were just like that, if it was that easy for us to guess it as a possible caveat to this dude's power, because it's like the only thing it could be. Right, you know what I mean? Like there has to be a moment, in between him, in between activations of the ability for him to be
yeah,
solid enough to be hit. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, like there's literally no, I don't know, I couldn't think of another way for it to work. You know what I mean? But that's what I love about these stories is that a lot of the time the writer is so creative that they create a situation to where the audience only has one real guess as to how something can go, but then the
And they do
writer
something
they pull the rug out from under you and not only introduce a second option, but a lot of the times that second option ends up being better than the conclusion that the audience came to. That's what really impresses me about these kind of stories. So not only did we
yeah.
not get that, it ended up being the most standard obvious thing, but then as soon as he lands this one punch with his regular arm, the nigga has no abilities for the rest of the chapter.
So I think it's because of the cane. He knocked the cane out of his
Oh,
hand.
oh, oh, oh,
So I
oh,
think
okay. So he has to be
the
holding the
power is
cane too.
yeah, yeah. So that's his like
Okay.
Astro, I'm guessing.
All right, I take that back then, I guess. Okay,
So
that's
he so
fine.
he just has freaky eyeballs for like no reason, I'm guessing. But like the cane is his his jinky or whatever,
Okay,
so
so
to
he
speak, in
has to
this
be
case.
holding the cane in order to use his powers in the first place. Okay, that's
Yeah.
okay, that's fine then. That's actually fine.
It's still just like punching him across the ring with like his regular arm. Like I like that he used his other arm because I feel like I was just saying like, hey, use your other arm, you got two. So I was like happy that it happened, but like punching him across the stage and
Yeah.
and the fucking cane going flying, far enough that he can't just go grab it. Like,
Right.
why not just like do a backwards roll and grab your cane and be back on that shit? Like he
Yeah, if it's that important to your entire fighting style and your ability, like you don't just like not try to go get that shit back. You know what I'm saying? Like
I guess
it falls out of his hand and then they stand up, wait, one punch.
it's because actually this whole time he doesn't hate Hibaru, and this is just to teach him a lesson. Like with the flashback, like he doesn't actually want to like kill Hibaru. This is just these are the kind of like an Itachi and Sasuke situation. It's like fucking I'm gonna show you all this shit and push you to the point where you hate me and do everything you can. So I'm gonna be an asshole. I'm gonna tell you I killed dad. I'm gonna almost kill our other sibling, and I'm just gonna be an asshole everywhere and every time you see me, and it's
But
gonna make you strong.
but it seems like he's still like willingly like is allowing, because like it just makes it feel weird because it's like, okay, you knocked the cane out of my hand and now I don't have access to my power set anymore. Like he has an opportunity to go get that shit back. Like
Hmm.
like he stands up and he's like, so you can stand, huh? And then they start fist fighting again. It's like, why, instead of starting to fist fight with no powers, why wouldn't you? So he's already basically given up and is like, fuck it, it's down to a fist fight. It's like, no, nigga, why wouldn't you still try to go get your cane back? It feels
Yeah.
like for the sake of, you know, the narrative at hand, he didn't attempt to go get his cane back so that they could have this bare knuckle fist fight and so that he could lose. And it just feels like, you know, it feels forced.
Yeah. Like I like that it happens, but it's just it definitely does feel weird
Like
that it gets to that point.
imagine if instead, because I like the aspect of the cane having to be held by Shikaba in order for him to use his powers. Like that's another layer to, you know, the advantage caveat situation, you know, on top of him, you know, being solid enough to hit in between activations. Like the more, you know, the more caveats and limits and whatnot, like the better when it comes to these like super powered stories, in my opinion. So like I like that, and I take back my initial criticism from earlier in the review. But how much better would it have been to really like drive this bare knuckle fist fight legitimacy, the legitimacy of this fist fight in this chapter, to really drive that point home, if after Shikaba gets up from getting jawed, he's like, "Where's my cane? Where's my cane?" And Hibaru's like looking for this and like breaks it over his knee or some shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like I assumed that you probably couldn't use your powers unless you were holding this shit. So like I went and grabbed it and broke it, and now you got to square up mano a mano. You know what I mean? Like that would just make it
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
way better.
Or like even if he hadn't had it at the time, like because we've seen Hibaru is fast enough to like dash into the crowd, grab a person, and fucking get back. So it's like he could have like Shikaba is probably not fast. It's probably all his powers from that cane or whatever. If that's if that's what enables his ability. But we've seen Hibaru has like speed, so
Yeah.
it could have
So
definitely been a situation where he like started running towards his cane and Hibaru just beat him there and
or
crushed it or something.
instead of the cane being knocked far away after the haymaker, why not have Hibaru just grab the cane and then steal off his ass so that, you know, Shikaba goes flying and Hibaru's still holding on to the cane. Then no one has to run after it. He has the cane in his hand. He breaks it over the knee. Like, you need this in order to use your powers. Now you can't. Now you got to square up. Like, it just feels so much better than just, I knock your cane over there. You stand up. We're really far away from each other when we stand up. Like, and we're just going to run at each other and start punching each other instead of you trying to go get your fucking trump card back. Like
I know
it
why it
just
didn't
feels so
happen.
forced.
The reason it didn't happen is because Chicago's going to be gang, and he's going to need his cane to help fight the next bad guy.
Oh god, yeah. See, like once you start like you know peeling the layers back like that, and like seeing the reason why certain decisions were made, and them feeling like, you know, ham-fisted for the sake of like other things that need to be set up later, it just makes the shit feel like you've unzipped the back of the monster costume and like
Yeah,
took off the mask to see
the
that it's just
Scooby
like
Doo mask.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like you're revealing the zipper on the back of the costume when you do that, and it's like I don't like thinking about shit like that. I'm supposed to be immersed, you know, that like I'm
Yeah,
supposed to be, you know, in this story with these characters. Like it just takes all of the verisimilitude away, and there wasn't really any there to begin with. You know, with ASStro Royale, this definitely feels a lot more like a situation where it's characters in front of stage props and we're moving from scene to scene. The curtain closes, the curtains open back up, and we're in a new location. It doesn't feel like a lived-in world. It never did. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But still, it's like shit like that that just makes me go, oh, okay. So this had to happen so that he could be gang, and he needs his cane so that because he like I don't want to be able to predict the future of the story that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I feel like it's just at a point now where like Tendo and Hibaru are probably gonna fight for a little bit, and maybe Tendo's gonna have the upper hand, and he's gonna have he's gonna hold it up again, the Daybreak Ore. Ha ha ha! I have the Daybreak Ore. I can steal your powers, and then Shikaba is gonna like have his cane and appear behind him and fucking pool, shoot it like a pool ball, pop it out of his hand with a pool stick or whatever. Or like
Yeah.
let's just hit his wrist with the cane and he drops it. My hand. Oh my god, how could you turn against me? And he, here you go, Hibaru. Here's a Daybreak Or. He's useless now, type shit. Like I can see him just knocking it out of his hand or something when he least expect it.
Right.
How could you turn against me? I raised you, I sent you there, I gave you everything, type shit. And he's like, you never loved me like a grandson, the way Hibaru and his dad loved me like family or something. So I'm going with them. I'm with you, Hibaru. Because I mean, he even says it here, like I wanna stay with you. So
Yeah, but and also with the cane thing, it's not actually confirmed that he has to be touching it in order to use his powers, right? Like that's not confirmed in the dialogue anywhere. At least
I
not
don't
in
think
this
it's ever
chapter.
been. Yeah, I don't think it's ever been said.
Okay, so then that means that Shikaba is either going to explain it next chapter, um, and then Hibaru's gonna be like, oh damn, so that's how it works, or like did Hibaru always know that? And you know like
I feel like it's safe to assume because everyone gets their powers from a thing. Like they all have their like
oh
treasured.
yeah. No, you're totally
Yeah,
right. You're totally right.
and it's
So
like we
but what
never see him let go of it.
yeah, so but it was never was it ever confirmed that that was his um Astro
It was
thing or
it
whatever?
was never stated, but it's safe to assume because like he loses it and suddenly he's fighting hand to hand.
Yeah, I still feel like you mm, I still feel
Like
like
before,
you want to have writing dedicated to this situation to some degree. You know what I
yeah, I
mean?
feel like in this case, like instead of having the flashback, Hibaru could have said that to him. Like I figured your cane was your weapon, and you know, you figured your cane was your Astro, and like once I knocked that out of your hand, like you had to fight me hand to hand, and you're not like that. You're not built
Yeah,
like that.
it would do so much more for his character if there was writing for that. Like we could still get that next chapter. You know,
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. Like now that he's oh wait, no. Maybe not though because
just because he's not like
the end of the chapter is Tendo like stancing up. So we might not
yeah,
even get that opportunity.
yeah. And there's no
At least
point
not in the
for
next chapter.
yeah, and there's no point for Hibaru to like talk shit to him now. Like yeah, I knew the cane was your shit, bro, because it's like he's facing off against Tendo
Yeah,
now. You know,
exactly.
Shikaba's already like submitted. He's already like, bro, I want to be homies again. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like a lost opportunity. Maybe Tendo will say it like you told you never let go of that cane or something. I don't know. We don't know where the cane came from, but
Yeah, I'm kind of mad at myself that I kind of like forgot like how like all of the Astro stuff works. Like you definitely have to be holding your shit. You know what I mean? Like we have like examples of that throughout the entire series. So I feel bad that I'm like kind of seem like a overzealous like can't wait to hate on this series ass nigga. But like still though, like outside of that, like I feel like there are still just multiple things being done here in the writing that just go against like what I respect in
yeah.
storytelling in this genre.
It still feels weird. Like I said, I like that we got the fists, but it still just feels weird. I
Yeah.
don't know. And like I definitely just this feels like the end. Like this I don't feel like this story is going to be going for another 20 more chapters. And if it does, I don't see it going much further than that. Like it's I think it's heading towards its end. Like if it doesn't end with this arc, the next arc is the end. Like it's wrapping up.
Oh God.
I don't see this make we're at 47. This isn't getting 100 chapters, I don't think.
So I want to ask
I just
you.
don't see it.
I want to ask you then, like, are we going down with the ship and waiting to, you know, for the axe, or does this arc conclude and we're just like, nah, we good?
Um
Obviously, that's a conversation that we
uh
probably have to like think about a little bit more and like continue later. But like, how are you feeling like at this moment? Just like,
yeah. So currently I'm like on the fence. Well, I'm not really on the fence, but I'm just like there's just got to be something more in Jump that we would want to replace it with. Like I'm fine with like I've been saying I'm going to read some stuff. So like New Ways Exorcist is one of the things that I plan on reading, and I'd be down for covering it if everyone reads it and likes it, cuz I read the first 20 chapters and I enjoyed it. It's cool. I don't think it's going anywhere, and it's you know, increasing in popularity, but
people are saying
Jump is
Sakamoto Days too is kind of like doing stuff in the current storytelling, and I'm like pretty far back. I don't think I've read too much farther past, you know, that the Takamura and Slur, you know, situation at the end of that one arc. I think I got a little bit farther past that, but I haven't been back to it in like probably a year's worth of chapters, I want to say. But people are
yeah.
saying that like what it's doing in the storytelling, you know, is a lot. It has a lot more going on than just like aura and action, and you know, there's a lot more to chew on there, like narrative and character wise, than you know there has been
Yeah.
historically in that series. So
Even then, I feel like Sakamoto is the wick is almost up. Like I think
oh,
it's in probably its last arc, and if not, like it's very close to ending. It's over. Isn't it over 200 chapters now?
I
I
think
can't remember
so.
how many chapters it has, but I don't feel like that series is going to be going on for that much longer. Maybe another year, and like. I mean, we haven't been doing this show for a year, so I can't say like I don't want to just be talking about a series for a year because we haven't even been doing it for a year. But like, I don't think I want to like personally talk about something that's going to end,
Right.
within 30 chapters of us starting to talk about it.
Sure,
I mean,
sure.
if it's bussing, sure, and if we all fuck with it. But I personally just didn't care for the end of that arc with Takamura or whatever. But yeah, I've been hearing good things. But Jump is also right now they're doing this thing where they every week for 9 weeks there's a one shot, and after that there should be a new batch. So I think right now we're on week 6 or 7, and then I think after the 9 weeks is up, they're gonna do a new batch or whatever, and like 2 or 3 manga are gonna get canceled. So I'm thinking if Astro isn't canceled, then maybe like Kiyoshi and something else is going to get out of there, and then we're just going to get a new group of 3 new manga and Jump. And I guess I'm kind of holding out. So it's like if we stop doing Astro, maybe we replace it with one of those if they're good,
Yeah.
or maybe we replace it with like Nue, or maybe we replace it with Sakamoto, or maybe we just take a break for a little while on this segment, let it breathe. I don't know, or maybe we just ride it out because fuck it. If this
Fuck
shit
that.
does,
No.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of options, and we can talk about it more later once we know a little more. But I think at least for now, this arc has. I want to say this arc has at least 5 more chapters, and I think by the end of those 5 chapters, Jump will have at least 1 or 2 new manga in the magazine, so we can start looking at those and seeing like what's up and if it's something that we want to talk about.
Mm.
But yeah, a little bit of insider info for you nerds who happen to be listening to the ASStro Royale section, which is like 2 people. Yeah, so you got to know what our thoughts are on the replacement.
Aye, aye,
But
aye.
yeah, I feel like this arc's gonna be wrapping up in the next 5 chapters, maybe, and then like best case is like we jump into the situation with Shio because they all want the fucking Mandrake or whatever, what Daybreak or so.
Mandrake or
Yeah, so that's a thing. So they're gonna be coming for that soon, and
yeah,
shit's gonna
so we
happen.
were we were talking about how like before, I think in the last review, because we saw all these like shattered like fragments of like or what I guess we had assumed were shattered fragments of like the whole piece of the Daybreak ore, and I think that we had talked about in the last review how it seems to have all been like one big piece that got fractured and like splintered off or whatever. But like the nigga just pulled out the thing from the flashback, so this is just like a really big Daybreak ore, and there's
Yeah,
like a bunch of them that are just varying shapes and sizes, I guess.
yeah, because the one that I want to say the cop dude had like a mouth, and it looked like the berserk thing, where it
Yeah,
was like
like the Hillet.
yeah, that whatever that shit is. So I guess there's just a couple of them that just come in different shapes and sizes, like fucking like you said, Ultra Ball, Great Ball, Pokeball type of deal.
Yeah.
They're essentially the same thing, but they look a little different. They're not like Dragon Balls where they just have a different number on them or whatever.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah, so it's
I guess
interesting. So like I wonder like is it a situation where the bigger it is, the more potent it is? Like what is he doing with this? Is he like pushing looks like he's like I
I
don't
think
know.
it's stored up some energy from like where he stole from their dad. So I'm thinking like him
Oh.
holding it up, he's activating it, and then on the last page he's getting buff again. Like his like there's the sound effect for crack there, and then like
Oh, there okay, because
I'm
I thought he was like shoving it into himself or something.
okay.
But
Yeah,
it
he's got
sounds like
like
he's just kind of breaking it to release the power or something. I don't know. I wonder what the crack
mm,
sound effect is for. Maybe the crack sound effect is like his bones cracking because his
yeah, that's what I
body's
was thinking.
changing. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking because he's got like a bunch of veins on his head too, and his
Yeah.
shirt looks like it's busting open. So I just kind of assume he was just kind of like all mighting right now.
Yeah. He just seemed like he was like kind of like hunched over, like he had like shoved it into like his belly button hole or some shit. Like
Bro, please. Yeah, I mean that would go in line with what the cop did. Where he ate it, but like, damn, maybe
oh,
he
he
ate.
ate it.
Yeah, the cop dude ate that shit.
Oh, so this nigga's like chewing, he like bit down on it and that's the crack? I don't know.
Maybe, or it might like maybe once it hit his fucking belly and his stomach, it just fucking he got the fucking heartbeat and he just fucking big crack his body's starting to change. So maybe he'll go into fucking creepy horror monster next chapter. If it jumps straight to fucking Eldritch horror like next chapter with him going from human to Cthulhu, it's done. Like we gotta at least see him
No.
throw hands as an old man. Yeah, you gotta give us that. If he ate this, like if this is to mean that he ate it, in next chapter he grows 6 legs and fucking 2 faces, just pack it up, baby. This shit's done. It's out before dinner, yeah.
Yeah, dude. If that is what happens, then I don't think I even want to review another chapter of this fucking dog shit, dude. I'm sorry.
Hot damn, he just cooked it.
Oh, maybe that's too mean. I don't know. I'm just like so over it, bro. I just feel like
Yeah.
so exhausted talking about this shit.
It's so weird because like I don't feel like it had the greatest start. I feel like the series had a decent start and then it got good for like 20 chapters and then it's been ass for the last 20 chapters.
So
it's like,
I absolutely
what happened?
loved the very first chapter. Like I think it was just like a really cool premise. I think it was like well paced and well executed. It reminded me a lot of like Akira in certain respects, and like I was just really fucking with the initial like pilot. And then I didn't really care about any of the chapters following it until we got to that first Shio arc with his like right hand man or whatever that he blew a fucking hole through or at the end of the arc or whatever. Like that was like a really good stretch of storytelling. And then after that it just, you know, became fucking dog cheeks, bro.
I think I can't remember who said it. I think it was like Sky Zade or something. Somebody on Twitter was like, or maybe it was like a Melon or something. Somebody said like they think that the first chapter, like this would have went better if the story had maybe like did a little more with the first chapter, and the end of the first chapter was the first volume instead. Like it ended the first volume with the comets coming down and everyone getting their powers, and then we go into that. And I I want to say maybe I agree. Maybe not, you know, stretching it out for 7 chapters, but maybe a couple of chapters. Um, but I don't know. Like I like the first chapter, but
Yeah.
I don't feel like the story was really good for real for a few, like maybe 7 or 8. Maybe like after the haunted house, and then they had the dude with the fucking gold grills as his ASStro and shit. And that stuff was cool. And then we had the muscle dude with the big arms or whatever, Tora or whatever, who got locked up. So there was good moments, but like once we got to the cop, it's been bad for 27 chapters, I want to say.
Yeah, bro. Come on, man.
Or maybe not even that
this
many
was the
because like
chance.
we don't even
Yeah.
have 27 episodes, so maybe it won't bad for 27, but like it's been bad for a minute. Yeah, it's been bad for yeah, about 15, 20. Yeah, cop dude, I'll leave it to you. He ate the he ate a pill. Cop dude popped a perky on 29 and we're on 47. So yeah, it's been about 20 plus chapters, man. That this
Yeah, and it had been
hasn't
buns before that because the fucking Kuzan, or wait, what's the shape shifting nigga's name? It's been so long since we've seen that nigga.
Tarasu.
No. Tarasu's the shield dude.
Oh.
Kuzano. I don't even fucking remember, bro, because the nigga's like out of the story right now. But
Oh, Terrazzo? The
no, I don't think
Oh
that's it
no,
either.
that's
It starts with like a K.
yeah. Oh, it might be Quran then.
Yeah, Kuran. Yeah, Kuran's fight against the professional wrestler luchador nigga, and Terasu's fight against the chick who like overdosed and died with the wind powers. Like that shit was buns. That shit was like the whole like after like the initial character introduction for the cop nigga, and like pretty much shortly after he arrested um Hibaru's homeboy is when the storytelling kind of started going downhill.
Yeah, it's Quran. I found it.
Yeah,
Quran versus
Quran.
Harumi in 27. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, around that point is when I feel like the butt cheeks started to spread. Yeah. So
yeah, dude, holy shit.
I feel like in you know like 3 months we're gonna like this shit's gonna be gone and we're gonna be like, man, yeah, remember when we were talking about that shit? It's like, oh yeah, like it's gonna seem like, you know, the writing was on the walls the whole time. Like we fucking felt it, yo, but it just kept on trekking. But I mean,
Yeah.
I would love for it to not, you know, obviously I don't want shit to get fucking axed, but like, you know, I just it ain't doing it, man, and I don't see I just don't see it. Like I try to like put myself in other people's shoes and see like, oh yeah, maybe it's busting. But like the only way I can do that is if like I imagine that like a person who is in love with this does not read anything else. It's like, yeah, if you're not reading shit else at all, then yeah, this is probably fucking firing off on all cylinders for you, like kicking doors in, fucking
Black Clover
pressing the big
fans.
red button, yeah, all that. Like, yeah, this shit, like. I said it again, like in another chat too. Like I was saying, I think this is I was like, I think fucking Black Clover and Boruto are fucking better at this point too. Like,
Yeah, Black
I
Clover
don't.
is shitting on ASStro Royale.
Yeah, and it's like you're not gonna get that out of me, very easily. Yeah,
Right,
but
right.
yeah, but yeah, I'm squeezed out, man. I'm kind of forcing shit to say about this chapter, this series now. So we'll see where it
We're
goes in a
past the
few weeks.
20-minute mark. We definitely do not
Yeah,
need to keep trying to think of things to talk about for Ass Cheeks Royale. Let's get out of here.
yeah. Let us know y'all thoughts down below. That's ASStro Royale chapter 47 match over. This series about to be over. Holla. Now jumping into the last review segment of the night, we have Kagurabachi, chapter 73, Daybreak. But we start off with a cool little color page with a. I don't know if you remember this, but back like I want to say about 20 or so chapters ago, there was like a survey or something. There was a thing where it was like, write in or tell Hokuzono what your characters' names and powers are, or whatever, and they was gonna draw the characters being killed by Chihiro. So we finally got that. I forgot it was a thing.
I had completely forgotten about that until this chapter too. Yeah,
Yeah, this is
I
dope.
was
So
like,
we got
oh yeah.
yeah, I got some art from some. Well, I guess this is all Hokuzono's art, but drawing people's characters and getting them murdered. So that's cool. I like that.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Some interesting powers. Guess we won't be seeing those powers in the series now, but it is what it
Because they
is.
got murdered on this color page.
Yeah, it is what it is. But moving into the chapter, really good chapter. I wasn't expecting to continue the flashback because Samura. It's interesting to get like so much focus on Samura when he isn't like around in the series, and I mean it makes sense. We got his daughter, and we probably won't have like next time Samura's around, it's probably just gonna be just action. Like
Yeah.
there's not gonna be another good time to show this type of interaction and stuff with his daughter and the mom and shit. And we'll probably see some more like because maybe Iori doesn't know like how the mom died or whatever happened, so there might be some more flashback, more context added to the flashback from his point of view. But this reminded me of two things that I consumed recently. One of them was the series called The Unstoppable Hey Young. I think Kichi, yeah, it was Kichi that recommended it, or maybe he didn't recommend it, but he was reading it and I started reading it. And it's about two girls. The two main characters are girls, and one of them is getting bullied. And it's kind of a similar situation to this, where like Iori doesn't like she's lying about stuff. She doesn't want like her dad to know that she's getting bullied because she doesn't want to like move. And so in Unstoppable Hey Young, the main character, she kind of like joined a new school and like saw this girl getting bullied, and she told the teacher for her, like on her behalf, because the girl was like weak and didn't want to like tell because she didn't want to piss the bully off. But like the girl got mad the next day. She's like, why did you tell the teacher? And she's like, I was looking out for you. And she's like, my mom's sick and we were like moving to, we're moving out of country or some shit. We're moving to like another state in like a week, and I didn't want her to know I was being bullied. So now she's gonna be worried about this type shit. And everything would have been all good if you never like snitched. And like now my mom knows. And it's like it reminded me of this situation where she's putting on this front and telling her dad that like she got into a fight for defending his honor when really she got like beat up and bullied and shit. She's got a knot on her head and everyone's throwing paper at her and shit and making fun of her and calling her nasty names. And she's coming home and telling dad like, yeah, they talking shit, but like I backed them off. I can handle myself. And really it's not going that way at all. But she doesn't want dad to move or whatever, to leave her and maybe leave her. I think then they said like he left her with her aunts or something. Yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
didn't want that kind of situation.
Yeah, I
So
definitely didn't see like when I was going through the chapter for the first time, I definitely didn't think she was just outright lying, about what had happened at school, and that the exact opposite thing had happened, and she just didn't want him to know so that he wouldn't see it as a reason to separate himself from her so that she can, you know, have a better life than she would if he was just constantly around. So that hit like really fucking hard, man. I was like, because they did a really good job of setting up the idea that some people fell for the propaganda and think that they're all heroes, and other people like know the truth and like think that they're you know, super shitty or whatever, and there's kind of like two factions, you know, of in society when it comes to the Seitei warriors, and what they did on that island or whatever. So, but then also at the same time, when it circled back around and showed the scene with all the graffiti on the house again, I was like, oh shit, that's right. So like it just all made so much sense that she would go to school and it would not be, you know, like the lie that she told. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like, but I had thought that, oh, like these are just people that, you know, still only see them as heroes, you know, like gassing her up and, you know, but she kind of told a half truth. You know what I mean? She's like, what's up with, he's like, what's up with that knot on your head? He's like, well, one of the kids, you know, everyone else was praising you and telling me I was cool, but one kid thought that you sucked, and I got into a fight with him, and it's like, nah, everybody was flaming me and throwing shit at me, and it was actually fucking terrible, and I just, you know, yeah, it's just like, damn,
pouring water
bro.
on her, kicking her chair and shit, all kinds of shit. And it's crazy because like it almost looks like in this situation, like right before they go to like the page where it's like it didn't happen, like with Yura's like, we can't prove it because the Kaminabi covered it up, but we scattered leaflets throughout the city. So it sounds like Yura, like when Yura approached him at first and was like, yo, you should fuck with me because like we got to get this nigga out of here or this shit's gonna happen. It sounds to me that Samura like turned him away, like was like, no, I'm not doing that. And in retaliation, Europe was like, well, we got to get this shit out there somehow. So he was like, fuck it. You know, I'm putting these fucking posters up everywhere and calling these guys, you know, these guys that everyone thinks are heroes, they're not heroes, they're murderers. And it's like he's going around spreading the word saying that they're actually bad people, and that's how a lot of these people are finding out the truth.
Right.
So like all this stuff is like because of the seeds that Yura has spread and planted. So everyone knows that like the Sword Master and Samura and everyone connected to them are not actually heroes. So it would have been all good if it wasn't for him. Like they probably would have, you know, lived happily, and Iori probably wouldn't have got bullied if it wasn't for like people, you know, finding these like posters and whatever else that Yura was spreading around to let everyone know the truth. So
yeah,
I guess, you know, he ends up, you know, he pushes his daughter away, and then he joins this plan or whatever. And you know, the plan at the end, I think he did say like after he's done with the swordsman, he was going to take out like the Hishaku. I'm pretty sure that was what he told them back when we first saw the like owl in the sky or whatever. But yeah, this is a good flashback, crazy situation with all the trash and stuff. That I said, it reminded me of two things. So the first one was that Unstoppable Hey Young, but the other one was a show on Netflix called Adolescence. It's new. I don't know if you've seen it.
have not.
But it's like it's like this situation but in reverse. So the son killed a girl, and the story is follow. It's a 4 episode series. I think it's like British or something. It's like fucking London. I don't know. Them niggas be talking and they got accents and shit. But they're trying to find out why the kid murdered this girl, and like they're trying to figure out. They're talking to him, and the dad doesn't believe it, and they show him a videotape of the boy like beating up the girl and stabbing her and stuff, and they're like trying to figure out why he did it. And they're like interviewing other students, and at first they thought that the boy had liked the girl, and then they found out that the girl was bullying him and was like calling him an incel and stuff. And he tried to like date her, and she was getting, so the girl was getting bullied. He thought that she was easy because she was getting bullied, and he thought he was ugly. So he was like, you know, I'll try and, you know, be your boyfriend. And she got disgusted and was like, ew, I'm not that desperate. And so she started flaming him and like going on his Instagram and calling him an incel and stuff.
Oh my God.
But it was in emojis though. So like the incel thing didn't come up until like 75% of the show, because they were like using like red pill and explosions and stuff, and the cops are like, what do these emojis mean? And you know, it took a while for somebody to be like, she's calling him an incel and not like you're the bomb type shit. So then you see what the family is going through, and like the dad, he, you know, like 11 months later the dad comes outside and they've like spray painted like they spray painted the word nonce on his like work truck,
No.
which I looked it up, and I can't remember now. I think it was like sexual It wasn't like pedophile, but it was like it was something along the lines of like sexual assault type murder type thing or something. And I was like, are they calling the dad a pedo, or like they making fun of him for the son or whatever? And like it was a situation just like this, because like the dad was outside scrubbing the paint, and then some kids rolled by and they was like nonsense. He was like, "Did you boys fucking spray this shit on my van?" And he's like chasing these kids down. There about to be a situation where like Sabura's like bumping into these dudes, and they're like, "Ha, you fucking, you're a shitty murderer or whatever." And he's like, "Bro, did you motherfuckers do this shit? You threw that trash?" He's like, "It wasn't us. Everybody else did it too." So everybody be of that. And it's just like the backward situation. The kid's in jail in this show, and they're like, they're hoping that the kid is, innocent, and he finally like admits to not, or he's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just say I'm guilty." But there's situations like this where like the kids don't want their parents to know because they don't want like their families to stress out and stuff
Right.
like that. So it reminds me a lot of that show when I watched it.
Yeah, no,
But
for sure.
yeah, but back to the bocce. Just there was just those two things that immediately popped up when I was reading this. I was like, wow, I literally just read this and watched this.
Yeah.
But yeah, you
This
gotta.
panel on 16 where like it shows the shower drain with all of the hair like, going into the drain or whatever. That shit hit kind of hard because it like made me like ask myself like is she like losing like a bunch of hair because she's just like stressed out, or is she like pulling her hair out because of like how you know how much this is like getting to her or
I
whatever.
think I think it's a stress thing, and
Yeah,
like
like
just
is she?
having to,
Yeah,
because she lost her mom and she thinks her dad's a hero, and everyone's like calling her the fucking child of a murderer and making fun of her, and they're like spraying, they're tagging the house and dropping trash, and like Samura can't see the paint, so
right,
it's like he comes home and he's like, "Oh yeah, some asshole dropped the trash off in front of my house." He probably just doesn't really think too much of it until like the pieces really start to fall into place, and she's having to go to school, and school is already stressful. Like even if you're not getting bullied, it still can be very stressful. And so it's like going to school, trying to maintain your grades and your image, and you want to be sociable, you want to have friends. You ain't got no friends. You're getting bullied, and they're fucking tagging, they're vandalizing the house, and your dad can't see. So it's like doing all this under his nose. It's like she could have bruises, she could have black eyes and stuff. Like the only
right,
reason he really started to notice is because he felt like a knot on her head or
right,
something. But
right.
like if he never like patted her head, she could have just kept this up. And it's like that's a lot. So I could definitely see her crumbling. That's why I feel like um page 18
Yeah, where he's like,
when
yo, if this shit doesn't let up, I could like walk in here and she could just be dangling one day.
yeah, yeah, it's like
As a
looking forward
father,
to,
like, yeah, I'm sending you.
yeah.
I'm sending you with your aunties too. Sorry.
Right. Yeah. Like that's at first I was like, is that like a flashback of the mom? But then I was like, nah, this is like him scared. Like he touches the doorknob and he's scared of opening it and seeing his daughter like hung herself, and then he just backs away from the door, and it's
Yeah, like
just
he
like
can
you can
hear
hear
her
her
in there
crying.
crying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because up until this point where he gets that information from, the niggas that put the garbage out outside of his house, like that's when he kind of like puts together like, oh, wait a minute. She's been lying about what she's been experiencing at school. I asked her why she wanted, me to pick her up early, and she's like, I just felt like blowing off school. Come on, it's all right. And it's like, no, you want to like stop being bullied, probably. Like he's just like connecting these pieces until he like, walks up to her door and like hears her just like crying in bed. And
Yeah.
it's like, yo, like she's been bullshitting the entire time about what these days at school are like, and what's going on around the neighborhood that I can't see because I'm blind. That like she's fucking trying her best to scrub the graffiti off, like crying her eyes out, bro. And he's just like, oh my god, and it's all because of me and my team. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, go with your aunties. I'm calling these Hishaku niggas. I'm setting up this plot. Like we all gotta go. Like let's get this seal going. Like let's all die real quick and like atone for our sins. And it's just a lot on this nigga's heart and his mind, bro. Like
Yeah. So like the end, I feel like it can be interpreted two ways, but I think it's definitely leaning towards like maybe he made the call. Because at first I was like
yeah,
at first I was thinking that like the phone, like he got the call, like he found out Chihiro's dad was dead. But I'm leaning more that like he
this
was
is
the
him
one that
making the
made the
call
call.
to
Yeah.
tell Yura where Kunishige was
Yeah.
at. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, you can find him here, go kill him, you know, we'll, and I'm gonna clean this shit up. Like I'm gonna kill all the other swordsmen, but like you start with him type shit.
Yeah.
I still want to know what that conversation was like, but like, yeah, this is crazy stuff.
Dude, it's so like there's just so much here. And it's just so well presented, like from page to page, like compositionally, and like the way that it all flows and the pacing of it all and the information that we're getting. This shit does so much for the story of Kagurabachi and the characters involved in this stretch of storytelling, man. From Yura to Iori to Samura to like everyone involved is just getting, you know, so much added to their characters after like these last few chapters.
Yeah, and I wonder because Samura knows at this point, like before Kunishige is killed, like Samura knows that Chihiro exists, and like he's even talking to Shiba here, and he's like, obviously, I'm counting on you to protect, you know, Rokuhira. So he's talking about Chihiro, I'm assuming, you know, watch over him, protect him at all costs for the sake of the future. So yeah, he's talking about him, but then he's making a call afterwards. So it's like I got to look back at the beginning, but did maybe I don't think Chihiro was there, or maybe he was like when his dad was killed. Um, but like I'm just thinking like maybe it was a situation where like Shiba took him to get fucking ice cream that day or something, or maybe he was taking a nap or something. But like,
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. So if Samura was the one that put the hit out on Kunishige, then why would he teach Chihiro swordsmanship like after that and like be at the crib? Is what you're saying?
that and just like telling him to like look out for him, and then like Chihiro not being murdered when his dad was murdered too, because it seems like they didn't like people don't know that Chihiro exists until he like starts doing shit. So I feel like I'm flipping through the chapter now to see if he was there when like his dad was murdered or something. Yeah, like I think he.
So
Oh, okay, no. So
I think this
Shiba.
conversation with Shiba takes place before like everything else in the chapter in this flashback.
Okay.
So I think it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
supposed to be in contrast to like, you know, how he was before the information that we got in this chapter came to light in his mind, and then the decisions that he made after, you know, the storytelling in this chapter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
because it's like
I was
before
thinking
I
that
found
like
out that my daughter is getting bullied at school and that niggas around my neighborhood are throwing trash outside of my shit and writing graffiti on the walls and making her feel, you know, like she like has like a shitty life with her dad or something like that, and that she has to do all of this stuff and shoulder this burden alone. Before all of that, I was definitely on board with like protecting Rokuhira and Chihiro and, you know, trying to prevent the next malediction and yada yada yada. But then once all of that information hits him, he's just like, God damn it, fuck it, and then just like makes the phone call.
mm. Yeah, I was thinking like he told him to like look out for the kid, and then he made the call knowing that his dad would be killed.
No,
And I'm
wait,
flipping.
Rokuhira is their family name, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so when he's saying, and obviously I'm counting on you to protect Rokuhira,
I'm thinking that
he's
like
talking
this is
about
because he
Chihiro. Oh, okay,
knows,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
because he knows that he's gonna have Kunishige killed.
Oh, okay. I'm tripping. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's definitely what it is. That's definitely what
So
it is.
so then I was wondering like where Chihiro was at the time, but like I flipped through, and so Chihiro was there, but like he apparently blacked out. So like Kunishige is like on the ground, like, you know, bleeding out, and they're like all standing around him and shit, and Chihiro is like behind him, like it looks like he's like under rubble or something, or like he's just on the ground knocked out. So they,
Where are you
I
seeing
guess
this?
they had chapter 2,
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You went
page
all the way back to
page
the
like
beginning. Yeah, yeah.
13, yeah, 12 and 13 and shit. So he was there, he saw the people that killed his dad or whatever, but like maybe they thought he was dead, or maybe they didn't realize who he was, maybe they just thought he was an apprentice or something. But I was just making sure that Shiba didn't like, I couldn't remember how it happened, and I was making sure that Shiba didn't like take Chihiro to get ice cream when his dad was getting murdered. But no, Shiba pulled up and he saw Chihiro holding his dead dad. So even though he told him to like look after him, he didn't. And I think he does. I think Shiba at some point does say like he failed to protect him or whatever. At some point later on in the series, he mentions how he failed to look out for Chihiro like once or twice. But Yeah, I want to know what that call was like, and maybe maybe does he say like leave the kid or whatever? He's got nothing to do with this. Like don't kill the kid
Yeah.
or something. Because
And
they
then
also don't know.
Chihiro just happened to be there when they went to go murder Kunishige and probably like tried to get in their way, and they just probably like, hit him with the fucking aquaberry back fist, like get the fuck out of here, little nigga, and like
Yeah,
gave him the scar,
yeah,
and then he's knocked out, bleeding from the forehead while they like continue the murder.
yeah. Because they also don't know about like the existence of that like extra sword. So it's like that shit was
Yeah,
probably like in the cut somewhere. And it's just they left Chihiro and the sword because they didn't know that Chihiro, like people didn't know Chihiro existed, and they didn't know nobody knew the extra sword existed. So, but he was there, so it's like he had to have like told them like just don't kill the kid or something. Like I'll give you maybe the deal was like I'll give you Kunishige, but leave his son type shit.
yep,
And so now he's like, all right, you kill him. That I'm setting off. I'm firing. I'm plucking the first domino, and I'm gonna go and kill all the other swordsmen. So everyone who was involved is gone, including Kunishige. It's crazy that he was the one that did the call though.
yeah, man. I think we knew that already though, but
We might have.
like seeing the lead up to it, that what pushed him over that edge to go make the phone call in this chapter is just like crazy
Yeah.
dot connection.
Yeah, because we were kind of getting it in bits and pieces, like when he was, shouting at Uraha, we're murderers, we don't deserve to live and shit, you know. And then earlier in the flashback when forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah, we've been getting some pieces, and it's good to, like you said, finally see how we get there. But now I just want to know his POV, like how like what he would say about it other than because all he's really said was like we're murderers, we deserve to die type shit. He hasn't like put any extra like words into it, just like the mission is all that matters. Like
Yeah.
yeah, and he I want to know about this seal and like with his daughter, like how he feels because like his daughter now knows that he exists. So like, does the seal break on both ends? Does he also remember his daughter now? And like, what's the plan?
Like if that is, I think that is probably how it works, especially because they made a point to like, um, and maybe this isn't directly because of this storytelling that we got. Like I think last chapter or maybe the chapter before when they were talking about the uh the enchanted blades connection to the sword bearers and then all of the sword bearers connection to the Shinichi master, and how like if the Shinichi master dies then the seal like deteriorates for all of the other members too, and they'll eventually die or whatever. That's what makes me think that this seal that's linking these two characters together kind of like works on both ends the way that you just said, to where if Iori remembers then so will Samura, like
Okay.
simultaneously, because there's just like writing given to us that shows that these seals and the characters that they are attached to like all kind of like work off of each other and are connected to each other. So I
Yeah.
can definitely see it being a situation where now that Samura, or now that Iori remembers, if Samura remembers, like he could pull up like next chapter, like, yo,
Yeah. Yeah.
Iori.
That's a thought I had a while, like back with when she was first like awakening and shit. And I was like, what if she accidentally like unsheaths a sword and he just teleports there and cuts her in half, not realizing it's her because he
Oh
can't see.
god, yeah, I think you did say that.
Yeah, I did put out a Kagurabachi theory video, maybe like 9 or 10 days ago. It's
Yeah, I
not
remember
really
that.
bussing.
Hmm.
Yeah, that shit's kind of dead. So you guys viewing this, go check that video out. Help me out. But
Go give him the
um,
views.
yeah, I was talking about the chain thing with the sword saint. So you saying that it reminded me. I was wondering like if he feels it when other people die, like other swordsmen, does it like give him like a shiver? Like is he like, oh shit, Uraha just died? Like, does he know that? Because I'm sure nobody's coming downstairs to be like, yo, Uraha died. But um, I was saying that in that video, I think I said like I feel like at some point like Samura's plan to like kill people, maybe like because remember when he like quote unquote killed Chihiro, but Chihiro came back. So I was thinking maybe that's some sort of like Phoenix like ability, like to go in line with his bird theme for his sword or whatever. So
Oh,
maybe
okay.
if Uruha isn't dead, like maybe he killed Uruha, but Uruha came back. So maybe he's like killing people to sever their contract to remove them kind of from that, so that they don't actually have to die, but they're no longer chained to the Sword Saint. So like when he kills the Sword Saint, it doesn't kill everyone else. Um,
Mm.
but um, fuck. There's I was saying in that video, I was just wondering like, so yeah, we got to get more on. We got to see his perspective and like know more about this island or whatever. Because I was saying, I think he is probably from that island and he wants like revenge against like his own people for some reason. Because I was just trying to imagine a situation to like, he's so strong. What like how did they get this dude locked up? I feel like he turned himself in. So I feel like his deal was like he came, he wanted all his people from his island murdered. He helped them do it, and then he just like gave up his sword and like went and turned himself in because he's so strong. Like how do you steal this dude? It's
Yeah,
like
maybe it's
he
a
can just
situation where he's like, you know, normal good guy one moment, but then the Shinichi kind of like corrupts him to, you know, turn into that like homicidal, like maniac version of himself that did the malediction. And then
yeah.
like after the malediction, he kind of like snapped out of it and went back to normal. Was like, oh no, y'all got to lock me up. I'm dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just weird because like just thinking about him getting locked up, and then like in that same chapter where they were talking about the bonds or whatever, where everyone was binded to him, it
Mm-hmm.
was like the short dude, I forget his name. They say it in this chapter. Short dude. Okay, they didn't say his name. Anyway, a little short old geezer. He when they were talking to him, fuck, bro, what was I?
No.
Oh yeah, he said he was like Kunishige's like most trusted ally was the Sword Saint. And I was like, how the fuck how are these niggas allies, bro? Because Kunishige was a goldfish loving goofball, and this dude is wiping out 200,000 people. So I was like, there's gotta
That's
be
what
more
I'm
to
saying.
it.
That's why I think that it was like a like corrupted by the sword like kind of situation because like you know, either that or Kunishige always knew that this dude was a nutcase
Yeah,
and still like called him his right hand man for some other reason. I don't know. Like
yeah,
it either makes Kunishige look crazy or dude was just like totally fine until the Shinichi like because like you can even see in his eyes like they were like black. Like do his eyes
yeah.
always look like that? Probably not.
I think there was a time where they weren't black like that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm pretty sure like it was like a fucking personality switch for the sake of you know the calamity, the malediction or whatever, and then he kind of like snaps out of it like, dude, what the fuck have I done? No, and then was like, hurry, quick, take this sword away from me and throw me in jail.
yeah, I can see it. I'm just like, what other, yeah, like I can see it being a fucking thing like that, or just like I said, my thing was that like maybe he just wanted his revenge, and after that he was like, y'all niggas can lock me up, fuck it, I did what I wanted to do, and just toss me in the cell.
Sure, yeah,
But
it could go a
I
couple
can't,
different ways,
yeah,
but
because
I'm
I can't
leaning
see
more
them strong
towards
arming this dude.
no. Like me neither. Like I definitely think that there's even more options, obviously, than what we kind of just you know laid out or whatever as far as like how that writing could go. I can't think of any right now. I'm sure Hokuzono obviously knows the answer or whatever, and will show us
Yeah,
when the time comes. But right now, I'm leaning more towards the idea that he was cool, got corrupted by the sword, went into calamity mode, massacred all them niggas, like came back to his senses, and was like, "Lock me the fuck up. That cannot
yeah,
happen again."
yeah. I can't wait to see where that goes. But as far as this chapter, it's good stuff. Nice to see more Iori and some more flashback stuff. And where were we before this flashback started? Like I think it was just showing. Okay, so it started like 3 chapters ago after the seal broke. So Iori's like having her flashbacks and stuff. Yeah, and then she knows everything. So it was after Chihiro cut. He saw Chihiro saw Iori doing the EI, and then he got the example straight, and he fucking chopped fucking Hirohiko, and then we went into 3 chapters of flashback.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. I feel like this is probably the longest flashback we've gotten. I don't know if I can't remember if we had any other flashbacks, but
Yeah,
So far, we're at like
any
3
that were
chapters for this
like
one.
multiple chapter, like maybe we got like a couple pages dedicated to things that happened in the past or whatever. But I don't remember whole chapter flashbacks in this series before this.
Yeah, like at least 2. Let me see. I'm just flipping through again. Yeah, the last 3 chapters 100% have been in the past. Not like they haven't been a thing where it's like they have like the first page in the present time and then they flash back. The entire last 3 chapters, like 40 pages, have been flashback. All of it.
Ay, ay, ay,
So,
ay.
so yeah, I mean, I fuck with it, but I want to see. I mean, hopefully, what I mean, the flashback might be ending here. Um, we might get a little more, maybe like seeing that like she's maybe we'll see how the seal was done or whatever, and then Iori like getting put in a car to go live with her aunt or something. But well, yeah, the 6 months we spent together as father and daughter came to an end when I left Iori. So yeah, he left and probably just like aunt came to get her, and he bounced or something. So yeah, it's a good chapter, deep stuff.
Hell yeah, loved it.
Yeah, a lot to think about, a lot to talk about. But you got any more for this one?
I think I'm good.
Okay, I think I'm spent out on this too, so that'll do it for Kagurabachi, chapter 73. All right, so wrapping on up here, we got our chapter of the week. I think it's probably going to be the same for us both, but who knows? My chapter of the week, I think I'm going to go ahead and say Kagurabachi. I think it just had the most meat on its bones, but Ichi the Witch was a close second for me, but I think Kagurabachi got it. What about you?
Well, now that you tried to guess my intentions, I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench in this shit and say ASStro Royale had my
I
favorite.
knew
No,
it.
I'm just kidding. Nah.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was your favorite.
Nah.
Good job, Kenny.
Hell nah. It's definitely Kagurabachi, obviously. It just had too much going on. And I think Ichi the Witch is what I would also put in second place. And then I'd probably put like Centuria in third place or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kagurabachi just had too much. It was too good.
Yeah, it probably would have had some competition if we would have gotten some chapters from Weekly Shonen magazine, but that's what next week's for. So
Yeah.
I think next week we'll have some steeper competition on the chapter of the week. But let us know down below what your favorite chapter of the week was.
Yes, sir.
Let's take a look at some of these here top comments. Looking at the comments you guys left in last week's episode. So from Toomph 1799. I'm pretty sure he said that's how it pronounces his name in a comment before, but it's hilarious seeing how Discard has essentially doomed herself with the soul contract. Asked for the magic taper. I think that's how you say it, right? Taper.
Taper, yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be one of those cases where they succeed in some way, but the god magic doesn't care. Thanks for the show. Thank you for watching. What do you think about the taper thing?
Yeah, I could definitely see it being a situation where the taper Bakugami like magic is like this big god magic fanatic, and the god magic just doesn't care about support or devotion or followers like that, and it's gonna be like a don't meet your heroes kind of situation. Like I definitely think it makes sense for Bakugami to eventually run into the world hater magic for one reason or another and be like, yo, I'm your biggest fan, I fuck with you, I've done everything that I've been doing around here like for you. And the god hater magic is just like, I don't give a fuck, kid, what the fuck, get out of here, like type shit. That would require it to like live like or not be defeated maybe long enough to like for them to run into the world hater magic again. So I don't know like how, I don't know if that's like a possibility or if that like makes a whole lot of sense, but I can either way, like I can definitely see the god magic not caring.
Yeah, I feel like it probably wouldn't even know, but maybe it's a big dog in the magic ranks, and maybe it'll be pissed off. But I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. We'll see what that looks like. But let's see a comment here from Alexia Rowan 7781. This one's long. On Centuria, I read a theory that the king had all these concubines because he's experimenting with this power to see where he can get what he can get in their kids and disposes of them when it doesn't work out. Lucas became the exception when he comes back to life after being killed by the slave traders, hence being called irreverent by Elstree. The king also might just be a cheater too, though. Lol. For the queen to let him live, he must have something serious. Elstree being over 80 years old was also a surprise. I think maybe the king has some sort of ability to slow down or stop aging as and ... So I don't know if that was supposed to be more there or
yeah, there is more there. There is more there.
Oh, it's not loading for me.
Yeah, the king has some sort of ability to slow down or stop aging as an added benefit to those who are loyal to him. The palace really is full of mysteries.
Oh wow, that the whole thing is cut off for me. That's weird.
YouTube sucks.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. So I had forgot about the reverend thing or revenant or whatever she called him. So I guess that could be part of the scar on his neck. Maybe like he was beheaded or something, but he came back to life. But also the king's power seems to be some sort of like bringing people back to life because he brought back Elstree. So yeah, there's I feel like there's something there.
Yeah, yeah. This is a really good comment. I really like that theory, honestly, because if you are, the figurehead of um this idea of like, a it's almost kind of like a genetic like dynasty of like, okay, I start with the powers and then my offspring, have different abilities based off of, what based off of my seed, basically. Like I have a kid and they have powers, so it makes sense for someone like that, especially one that's lived long enough, to be like, okay, I'll just fucking have like an army of children that all have like really good superpowers, and then we'll just be this strong ass fucking family, like dynasty, like legacy situation, where, I only want to keep the kids with like the tightest abilities, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, I'll smash you over here, see what kind of kid pops out. If their ability is buns, we getting y'all out of here, you know what I mean? And then I just keep rinse repeating that process until I only have like a really tight knit like group of kids that have really really strong powers. I could definitely see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to see what other what the rest of his kids are like now to get more of an idea of that situation.
Yeah, because we just have Arcos, Lacrima, and now Lucas that are known, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And Lucas's power isn't at all related to Lacrima or Arcos's.
yeah. And if he's 400 years old, then like, wait a minute, how many of his royal guard are his children then, if any?
It's possible that a lot of them, like it's very
Yeah,
possible
like
that
most
he,
or all.
yeah, like it's possible that like before his, because we don't know how old his like the queen, because is I can't remember what the deal was, but there was like some queen shit, and it's like, so does he just have one queen, and she just started murdering people, in the last 20 or so years? If like she found out because she's jealous or whatever, so it's like, okay, well, if he's been around for 400 years, what about the kids that he had? With the queen. That was the queen's thing to have the people killed. I think they said so.
Right.
It wasn't like the king was murdering his own children. It was a her thing. So he's
Yeah.
probably got hella kids that existed years before she was born. He's probably got kids older than the queen that he
I could
smashed.
see it being a situation where, the king is like, goes to his wife, the queen, and is like, hey, I'm gonna start smashing. I'm gonna start smashing other women, see what kind of kids pop out and what kind of powers they got. And just letting you know, like, I'm gonna be out here a little bit, and have her be like, well then, let's make. I don't want you just out here smashing anybody, so let's just make a deal. Like, if they don't have like a strong enough power, like we got to kill them because like jealousy and shit or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah, like if you gonna be out here, fucking the whole neighborhood, like it better only, we're only keeping the ones alive that can produce like, you know, um,
yeah,
usable abilities.
yeah. So we'll get some more on that hopefully soon.
Yeah,
Somebody, Mabinox says Centuria title is making a lot of sense from now on. So yeah, that with the whole like King being alive for 400 years and Elstree being saved 80 years ago, the Centuria, all the links and ties with all the characters being possibly related. Like I was saying, to Julian and Julian might be related, and Diane might be related to Lucas and stuff. So Centuria, all the whole like I think Mello in the last episode was saying some fate that binds us type shit. So
yeah,
I can see it.
oh yeah.
And then last comment before we get on out of here from Tiberius. The streets need to see y'all's morning routine. Double cheeked up outside while working out. Okay. Floating in the air for 4 minutes before diving in the pool. Okay, can make it happen. Sitting
Yeah,
down with a book in front of you for 1 minute, then push it to the side so you can dump your face in ice water. I think we
easy.
can make that happen.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
light work, especially the floating
Yeah.
in the air for 4 minutes before hitting the water. That's probably the easiest thing on the list.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely can see myself doing that before I get cheeked up outside. But um, yeah, the craziest shit was I found out that water is carbonated, and like maybe I'm tripping, but like I can't see myself dunking my head in carbonated water. That shit's spicy, right? Like the bubbles getting in his nose and shit. Then he squeezing lemons, and I'm like, bro, don't that burn? Don't that hurt?
Yeah, I don't know what the point of that like even is. Like, what is the reason for the face dunking in like lemon juice filled carbonated water? Like, what does that do for you? Is that like a character building, like put hair on your chest kind of like thing first thing in the morning? Is like make yourself extremely uncomfortable before the day starts so that you're ready for anything? Is that like a resilience thing? Like, I don't understand.
I thought it was just one of those like skin regimes where people just like put stuff on it. Like he rubs the banana on his face, and I was like, okay, yeah, I
Yeah,
get
what's
that.
the
Like there's
banana about, nigga? What does that
that
do?
that's apparently a thing. Like he didn't invent that, but it was still funny. Just like it's weird because he does a bunch of other weird shit in the video. So it's like, all right, nigga, you in the bathroom. So for one, you in the bathroom eating a banana. Eating in the bathroom is just nasty. And two, you eat the banana in the bathroom and then you rubbing it on your face. It's like, bro, it's doodle juice in the air, bro. Like,
Right, you got
what are you
all
doing?
kinds of dookie particles floating.
Yeah, it's like, bro, you eating in the bathroom and then smearing the fucking doo-doo banana peel on your face, like you're sick. Do something. Take better care of yourself. I guess I can't say nothing because he buff as hell, but like I beat that nigga ass. Yeah. Anyway,
We all
yeah,
got the same weakness, bruh.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
kicking that nigga in the dick and back
yeah,
fisting him in the fucking jaw and let his brain bounce around, bro. I don't care if you're
yeah.
350,
That
6'8".
should hurt everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, this shit right here for everybody, everybody. All right, but yeah, thanks Tiberius for the comment. Always looking out with the silliness. Fuck with you.
Hell yeah.
So that was episode 23 of the Shonen Post podcast. Hope you had a good time. And like I said before, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Drop some comments. Let us know, how you feeling, what you're thinking, and if we were spitting or if we won't, we were. Hit the share button and copy link, all that good stuff. Share it to your Discord, share it on Twitter, share it with your mom, share it with your grandma, share it with that annoying coworker, especially the annoying coworkers, the ones that like text you all the time. Like, give them something to be annoyed about. Like, have them open up their phone. But what the hell is this bullshit? Send that
Yes.
shit to everybody. And like I said, send your thoughts and prayers over to Weeb. He needs it. Shout out to Dude, and go support his channel, his videos, and be on the lookout for the usual things, Twitter and stuff like that. I got a new PC, so I'm gonna start streaming very soon. I know I see they like say that like every episode, but for real this time, I'm gonna be streaming soon, probably this week. Maybe because my wife is like back in school to get her master's or whatever, so she'd be taking
Hey.
tests and I gotta be quiet. So there's some nights that are off the table for sure. I can't be streaming and yelling and hollering when she taking a test, but we gonna see what it do. And unless Knox got any other words for y'all, I'm out.
I got Nathan.
All right, then we gonna catch y'all. Holla, holla, holla.